Chapter 34:67 Attracting Attention. In the void, outside the ancestral land of the Nine-Tailed Clan, numerous figures were gathered there. Each of these figures was emitting a magnificent and tyrannical aura. Any one of these auras had already reached the level of a Principal's Master. Nearly 50 Principal's Masters were gathered together, and the pressure formed made the members of the Nine-Tailed Clan, who had already seen the scene here, unable to breathe. So many Principal's Masters. This Divine Moon Palace is really powerful. Ying had already arrived at the void, at the edge of the clan land. He could not help but sigh when he saw the scene outside the clan land. It seems that the outside world has produced many talented people during the years I've been in seclusion. A heavenly sword marquis and a mere immortal saint had turned the divine, beginning realm upside down. And now there's someone who has condensed such a powerful force in such a short period of time. Mother, the reason why the Divine Moon Palace could rise so quickly is that they used some unknown method to directly control the Howling Demon Clan and the Scarlet Gold Clan. The method used by the Divine Moon Palace is similar to soul control or enchantment. However, we don't know what exactly it is. Said to you, if they really rely on soul control or enchantment, it's really amazing. The Nine-Tailed Clan is also good at soul control and enchantment. I wonder if the person behind the Divine Moon Palace has something to do with the Nine-Tailed Clan. Ying narrowed his eyes. At this moment, among the crowd outside, Axe 1 Master, Duanyu Marquis, and Star Saint Master had already appeared at the front. Even though the three of them had concealed their auras, Ying was a peak expert of the 6 states of the void, so he naturally sensed the existence of these 3 people at the first moment. What's going on? Didn't they say that there is only one expert of the 6 states of the void in the Divine Moon Palace, and there are only 2 experts of the 6 states of the void who have been following Heavenly Sword Marquis all this time? But why are there a total of 5 experts of the 6 states of the void in front of us now? Ying's expression had become solemn. 5 void 6th realm experts. The Principal's Masters of the surrounding Nine-Tailed Clan were shocked when they heard this. Impossible. There are only so many void 6th realm experts in the divine beginning realm. How could there be 3 void 6th realm experts in the Divine Moon Palace? You said, Enza's a row. Why? Do you think my senses are wrong? Ying glanced at you. Yes body trembled, but her eyes were still filled with disbelief. 5 experts of the 6th level of the void. How can there be so many? He was not the only one. Even the Principal's Master of the Nine-Tailed Clan was panicking. After all, the Nine-Tailed Clan only had 2 experts of the 6th level of the void. Purely in terms of lineup, this Divine Moon Palace has nearly 20 more Principal's Masters than our Nine-Tailed Clan. Even the top experts of the 6th level of the void are 3 more than us. In terms of overall combat strength, our Nine-Tailed Clan and the Divine Moon Palace are no longer in direct proportion. Now that the Divine Moon Palace is attacking head-on, they naturally have a high chance of winning. Our Nine-Tailed Clan is not suited to face them head-on, Ying said. The surrounding elders nodded one after another. They could see that the gap between the 2 sides was too big. It would be foolish to fight them head-on. Let's wait. Although it's a little sullen, what we Nine-Tailed Clan need to do now is to guard the ancestral land. We can't go out. With the 5-element formation left by the ancestor, Divine Moon Palace can't attack. We can only wait here quietly for the reinforcements of the Dark World Clan. When the experts of the Dark World Clan arrive, we will be qualified to fight the Divine Moon Palace head-on, Ying said. The experts of the Nine-Tailed Clan naturally obeyed Ying's orders. At this moment, Jian Wushuang, Shower, and the others were standing together in the void. It seems that the Nine-Tailed Clan doesn't intend to fight. Jian Wushuang smiled. It's normal. There are no more than 30 principals masters in the Nine-Tailed clan. Besides, the auras of Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master can't be hidden from the clan leader. They know that there's a big gap between them and us, so, of course, they choose to avoid fighting. Shower smiled. But this is also within our expectations. Duan, you Marquis, I'll leave the Nine-Tailed clan's clan protection array to you. Shower glanced at Duanyu Marquis. It's not difficult to break the array, but am worried that during the process of breaking the array, the experts of the Nine-Tailed clan will appear and disturb me. Duanyu Marquis said, That's simple. You can rest assured and go break the array. I'll think of a way to divert the attention of the Nine-Tailed clan for you, so that no one will disturb you. Shower said, Haha, then I will go. Duanyu Marquis laughed and immediately headed toward the ancestral land of the Nine-Tailed clan. Miss Shower, what method do you have to divert the attention of the Nine-Tailed clan? Do you want us to attack them head-on? Axe 1 Master asked. I have my own methods. Just watch. Shower smiled and immediately rushed forward. In the blink of an eye, she had arrived in front of the Nine-Tailed clan's ancestral land. She was only a few hundred meters away from the entrance of the Nine-Tailed clan. The current Grandmaster of the Nine-Tailed clan, come out and have a chat. Shower's voice was calm, but it spread throughout the entire void. Naturally, it also spread to the Nine-Tailed clan. Who are you? Do you deserve to have a chat with my Grandmaster? A deep voice immediately sounded from within the Nine-Tailed clan. This voice belonged to some of the 5 void realm elders of the Nine-Tailed clan. My name is Shower. I'm afraid that this name will be unfamiliar to your Nine-Tailed clan. However, my current identity is the Divine Moon Palace's Palace Master. Shower said with a faint smile. What? Exclamations immediately sounded from within the Nine-Tailed clan. They could see Shower's appearance through the 5 elements array formation. The latter looked like a little girl, but this little girl was actually the mysterious Palace Master of the Divine Moon Palace who possessed heaven-reaching means. The founder of the Divine Moon Palace? What kind of joke is this? The Palace Master of the Divine Moon Palace was able to establish the Divine Moon Palace on his own, and in just a few hundred years, he led the Divine Moon Palace to such an extent. He could even compete with my Nine-Tailed clan. How can such a method be compared to an ordinary person? Although the mysterious Palace Master of the Divine Moon Palace has never appeared before, according to my Nine-Tailed clan's guess, the Palace Master of the Divine Moon Palace should be at least a 6th level Void Realm expert. But you are only at the 4th level of the Void Realm, and your aura isn't too dense. Clearly, you have just broken through not long ago, and you dare to pretend? The 5-level Void Realm Elder of the Nine-Tailed clan shouted. Ha ha! I didn't expect that in the eyes of your Nine-Tailed clan, I have such great ability. Shower smiled, but then he said seriously, I am indeed the Palace Master of the Divine Moon Palace. It's easy to face him head-on. Lord Su, come here. Chapter 3468, The Bloodline of the Emperor Phoenix. After hearing the order, Su Zhu immediately came to Shower's side, respectfully. Kneel. Shower said softly. Su Zhu did not hesitate at all, and directly knelt down in front of the countless experts present. This scene caused the experts of the Nine-Tailed clan to be extremely shocked. A powerful expert at the 6th level of the Void actually kneeled before her in public. That person is Su Zhu. I've heard of him. It's said that he's a solitary expert with a proud personality. With his strength and personality, even if he's facing a Saint Realm Master or a Ruler Realm expert, he definitely wouldn't be like this. After all, a powerful expert at the 6th level of the Void wouldn't completely disregard his dignity. Just what kind of method did that woman use to actually make an expert of the 6 states of the void be willing to become a slave? The principals, masters of the Nine-Tailed Clan, were all discussing amongst themselves. How is it? Now, do I have the qualifications to talk to your Nine-Tailed Clan's Grand Master? Shower said with a faint smile. Within the Nine-Tailed Clan, everyone's gazes turned toward Ying. Ying waved her sleeve. Although her body did not move, in the void outside the ancestral land of the Nine-Tailed Clan, a strand of her consciousness had condensed and formed. Divine Moon Palace Master. Ying's voice was calm. You are the current Grand Master of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Your name should be Ying, right? And your mother, the previous Grand Master of the Nine-Tailed Clan, is Gu. Shower asked, so what if I am? Ying's expression was cold. It's nothing. I just think it's a little funny. I didn't expect that the most inconspicuous and ordinary-looking little fellow, Gu, would become the clan leader in the end. Yu's taste isn't that good. Shower sneered, but after hearing Shower's words, Ying's gaze immediately turned cold. Who are you? How dare you call my mother a little fellow? Ying's heart was already filled with anger. Gu was her mother, the previous clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan. As for Yu, that was her grandmother, the previous clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Many years ago, Yu passed the position of clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan to her mother, Gu. Subsequently, her mother, Gu, passed the position of clan leader to her. Although there were only 2 generations between them, in reality, as a member of a celestial race, each generation of the Nine-Tailed Clan had an extremely long time to pass on the inheritance. A clan leader usually had an extremely long period of time in office. 100 to 200 million years could only be considered short. It was usually 400 to 500 million years. For example, from the time she took over the position of clan leader until now, it had already been more than 200 million years. However, this Divine Moon Palace Master, who appeared out of nowhere, actually mentioned her mother and even her grandmother the moment she opened her mouth. Moreover, she even called her mother a little fellow. Ying, you don't have to be angry. I call that Gu a little fellow, so I naturally have the qualifications. Because if we were to really talk about seniority, Gu would have to call me aunt. Even you would have to call me aunt. Shower said with a smile. What? Everyone in the Nine-Tailed Clan was shocked. Even Ying was shocked. What, you don't believe me? Shower smiled. Ying, listen carefully. Shower is only my name in this life. However, countless years ago, my real name was Ji. As the clan leader, have you ever heard of this name? Shower said seriously. Ji. Ying's pupils constricted at first. Then, as if he had thought of something, his body trembled and his expression changed drastically. Ji, you are the Ji who fought with grandmother for the position of clan leader back then? As soon as he said that, Ying immediately shook his head. Impossible, Ji. That person is someone from who knows how many years ago. He is even older than grandmother. Moreover, this Ji had already been executed for betraying my Nine-Tailed Clan back then. How could she still be alive? Even if she really survived, with this JIS talent, she should have at least reached the 6th level of the void. How could she have just stepped into the 4th level of the void like you? Ying's cold voice reverberated in the world. She absolutely did not believe that the person in front of her was the same Ji from back then. It was not just her. Everyone in the Nine-Tailed Clan also did not believe it. Ji, although it had been a long time since she was born, she was once a prominent figure in the Nine-Tailed Clan. She was even a strong competitor for the Nine-Tailed Clan leader position. Her talent and reputation were shocking. Even now, many people in the Nine-Tailed clan knew of her existence, because they did not believe that Shower was dodgy. However, Shower smiled in the face of the doubts of the Nine-Tailed clan members. I know you don't believe me, but I naturally have a way to prove it. First, it's this: Shower moved, and a pure bloodline power rose from her body. This bloodline power originated from the Nine-Tailed clan's bloodline. Moreover, the purity of the bloodline immediately caused the many members of the Nine-Tailed clan to palpitate the moment it rose, when they saw the bloodline aura that rose from Shower's body. Most of the tribe members could not help but feel a desire to submit in their hearts. This bloodline aura, Ying's expression also changed drastically. Under the guidance of the bloodline aura, a blurry shadow that was so huge that it covered the entire void rose from behind Shower. This blurry shadow was silver-white in color. Only its head had a faint golden edge. Its huge body was extremely luxurious and beautiful. There were 9 silver-white tails behind it. These 9 tails were slightly raised. It made this figure look extremely beautiful. This is the body of the Emperor Phoenix. No one knew who was the first person in the Nine-Tailed clan to cry out in shock, and the next person to unite the Nine-Tailed clan was completely shaken. Is indeed the body of the Emperor Phoenix. The bloodline of the Emperor Phoenix. This is the supreme bloodline of our Nine-Tailed clan. Oh my God! Emperor Phoenix bloodline. Did our Nine-Tailed clan give birth to the Emperor Phoenix bloodline again? The Nine-Tailed clan was completely boiling. Emperor Phoenix bloodline. That was the supreme bloodline of the Nine-Tailed clan. Since the birth of the Nine-Tailed clan, the number of people who had the Emperor Phoenix bloodline that had been born over countless years were few and far between. This represented the highest nobility of the Nine-Tailed clan, the purest bloodline. Under normal circumstances, the Emperor Phoenix bloodline was the orthodox bloodline of the Nine-Tailed clan. One could become the leader of the Nine-Tailed clan, which was also the clan leader. After all, the Emperor Phoenix bloodline was not born in every era. In this era, Ying, as the clan leader, did not have the Emperor Phoenix bloodline, including her mother Gu. However, as her grandmother, Yu, was the one who possessed the Emperor Phoenix bloodline as the orthodox bloodline, the chances of her descendants awakening the Emperor Phoenix bloodline in the future were extremely high. That was why Ying was qualified to become the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed clan. Chapter 3469 was even more qualified in this generation. No one from the Nine-Tailed clan had awakened the Emperor Phoenix bloodline. But now, this Divine Moon Palace master before them actually possessed the supreme Emperor Phoenix bloodline of their Nine-Tailed clan. Furthermore, this Divine Moon Palace had directly led many experts to attack the Nine-Tailed clan. This shocked the Nine-Tailed clan to an unprecedented level. Emperor Phoenix bloodline. Humph. So what if you have Emperor Phoenix bloodline? It's not like our Nine-Tailed clan doesn't have Emperor Phoenix bloodline in history. Who knows what method you used to obtain my Emperor Phoenix bloodline? Who knows, it might be our Nine-Tailed clan's enemy, who secretly used a special method to possess our Nine-Tailed clan members. Ying shouted sternly. Many members of the Nine-Tailed clan were startled awake after hearing these words. That's right. Just the Emperor Phoenix bloodline alone could not prove anything. Furthermore, it could not prove Shower's identity. Just the Emperor Phoenix bloodline alone cannot prove it. What about this move? Shower smiled strangely. The moment she revealed her smile, in the eyes of the enormous nine-tail void behind her, 2 light purple rays suddenly flashed. These 2 light purple rays were extremely dazzling. They were like 2 purple stars that instantly attracted the attention of everyone present. At the instant everyone saw these light purple rays, obscure energy swept over. Within the Nine-Tailed clan, countless members of the tribe raised their heads and looked at the eyes of the Nine-Tailed void figure that were emitting light purple rays. Their gazes gradually became misty, becoming dull, and forgetting themselves. Even many principals, masters of the nine-tailed clan, revealed the same expression. They were all attracted by the gaze of the nine-tailed phantom. And those who were also attracted by the gaze of the nine-tailed phantom, but did not immerse themselves in it, were only the extremely powerful principals, masters of the nine-tailed clan. However, although these principals, masters were not attracted by that gaze, the shock in their hearts was even greater at this moment. Could this be nine-life succubus heavenly technique? Yes, it's the supreme secret technique of our nine-tailed clan, nine-life succubus heavenly technique. The supreme divine ability of the succubus heavenly technique, the supreme treasure of our nine-tailed clan. Ever since our nine-tailed clan obtained this secret technique, no one has been able to truly master this secret technique. But now, what she is using is definitely the nine-life succubus heavenly technique. And just by looking at it, even the principal's masters cannot help but be affected. This clearly shows that she has completely mastered the nine-life succubus heavenly technique. Could this divine moon palace master really be that Deciphered from back then? Numerous gazes were fixed on Shower. The principal's masters, who were initially filled with doubts about Shower's identity, had now begun to waver in their hearts. Ying and everyone from the nine-tailed clan, you should be able to believe it now, right? Shower stood in front of the nine-tailed phantom with an indifferent expression. Her voice was like a bewitching charm as it reverberated through the world. Back then, the nine-tailed clan actually gave birth to two owners of the Emperor Phoenix bloodline at the same time. One of them was me, and the other was your grandmother, Deciphered. Originally, your grandmother, Deciphered, was far inferior to me in terms of strength, talent, seniority. I was publicly acknowledged as the first successor of the nine-tailed clan back then. However, it was a pity that Deciphered's mother, who was also the clan leader of the nine-tailed clan at that time, she was selfish. In order for Deciphered to smoothly become the new clan leader of the nine-tailed clan, she tried every means to make things difficult for me in the clan back then. However, I dodged all of them one by one. But later, the four divine races and the 8 directions celestial sect joined forces with the 3 holy regions to attack the 7 stars mysterious sect. Because I was already engaged to Shursen D, the leader of the 7 stars mysterious sect, she schemed to say that I had betrayed the nine-tailed clan and secretly executed me. Fortunately, I was lucky enough to comprehend the 9 lives charming heaven spell before I died. I entered the path of reincarnation and began my reincarnation. After that, I experienced 9 reincarnations and 9 experiential journeys. I finally mastered the 9 lives charming heaven spell and began my journey of revenge. Unfortunately, the 9 reincarnations took too long. In this life, that she had already gone to the cosmic battlefield. Her descendants, Deciphered and Deciphered, had also left one after another, leaving the position of clan leader to you, Ying. And today, I came here to take back what originally belonged to me. I want to retake control of the nine-tailed clan. Anyone who dares to disobey me in the nine-tailed clan will be killed without mercy. Ying, if you are sensible, you can give up your position as the clan leader now and bring your daughters out of the divine beginning realm to the universe battlefield. I can consider the fact that we are from the same race, so I won't bother with your grudges in the past. But if you are stubborn, I will attack the nine-tailed clan directly. At that time, not only will the nine-tailed clan suffer, even you and your daughters won't be able to live. Shower's voice carried a somber killing intent as it reverberated throughout the world. The nine-tailed clan members who heard this immediately went into an uproar. One had to know that they had previously thought that the Divine Moon Palace was the enemy of the nine-tailed clan, and that there was no way to resolve it with their nine-tailed clan. Both sides had to fight to the death. And since that was the case, they were prepared to fight to the death. But now, they knew that the Divine Moon Palace was not the enemy of the nine-tailed clan. Instead, the Divine Moon Palace Master was a member of the nine-tailed clan. It was only because the nine-tailed clan had mistreated her previously that she was here to seek justice to take back control of the nine-tailed clan. This immediately made many nine-tailed clan members waver. After all, to most clan members, no matter who became the nine-tailed clan's tribe leader, it did not matter much. And what Shower wanted was the nine-tailed clan's clan leader position, and she did indeed have the qualifications to do so, possessing the Emperor Phoenix bloodline, and even mastering the 9 lives succubus heaven technique that no one in the nine-tailed clan had ever mastered. The only flaw might be that her current strength was slightly weaker, but for her to be able to, she had created a divine moon palace that was so terrifying that even her overall strength surpassed that of the nine-tailed clan. One could only imagine how formidable her methods were. All in all, Shower was more qualified than Ying to become the nine-tailed clan leader. Since Shower was more qualified to become the nine-tailed clan leader, it was not justified for her to become the nine-tailed clan leader. Moreover, if Shower became the clan leader, not only would she be able to avoid a life-and-death battle, but she would also be able to become the nine-tailed clan leader. Moreover, Shower would definitely merge the Divine Moon Palace into the nine-tailed clan. In this way, the nine-tailed clan's overall strength would also receive an unprecedented increase. This would be of great benefit to the nine-tailed clan. After understanding this point, many members of the nine-tailed clan were gradually leaning towards Shower's side. Chapter 3470 Suppression, the nine-tailed clan was in an uproar. Countless members of the nine-tailed clan were discussing Shower's Emperor Phoenix bloodline and the 9-life heavenly charms technique. And just as many people began to lean toward Shower, a principal's master suddenly knelt down. Elder Delan of the nine-tailed clan welcomes the return of Grandmaster Deciphered to retake control of the nine-tailed clan. The principal's master's voice was so loud that it directly drowned out the voices of everyone present. It did not only reverberate throughout the entire nine-tailed clan, it also reverberated throughout the entire world. For a moment, countless members of the nine-tailed clan focused their gazes on this principal's master. Delan, are you crazy? We haven't even confirmed whether this person is really the original Deciphered. How can you say such a thing? Deciphered was the first to rebuke. However, the principal's masters, Delan, said in a deep voice, "I'm not crazy. I'm just being realistic." Grandmaster Deciphered was a figure from the era of Grandmaster Deciphered. Not only does she have the bloodline of the Emperor Phoenix, but she has also cultivated the 9 lives charming heaven technique that no one in our nine-tailed clan has ever mastered. No one in our nine-tailed clan can compare with her in these two aspects. The nine-tailed clan has always valued bloodlines above all else. Grandmaster Deciphered is naturally more qualified than Ying to be the Grandmaster of the nine-tailed clan. Promise me, if I were you, for the sake of the nine-tailed clan, I would take the initiative to offer the position of Grandmaster and hand the nine-tailed clan over to Grandmaster Deciphered. Not only would I be able to avoid a great war, but I would also be able to increase the strength of the nine-tailed clan to an unprecedented level. This is truly for the good of the nine-tailed clan. Shut up. Deciphered was furious. As for Ying, his face turned gloomy. Deciphered, everything I said is for the good of the nine-tailed clan. Even if you kill me, I will say it out loud and make Ying hand over the position of tribe leader, so that Grandmaster Deciphered can take control of the nine-tailed clan again. This is the best choice for the nine-tailed clan. Delan added. After he finished speaking, he was supported by many clansmen around him. Yes, in the clan motto, above Bloodline, Ying does not possess the bloodline of Emperor Phoenix, so she cannot be compared to Grandmaster Deciphered. Furthermore, Grandmaster Deciphered has mastered the 9 Lives Succubus Heaven technique. She is more qualified than anyone else to be the new clan leader of the Nine-Tailed clan. I also support Grandmaster Deciphered. Grandmaster Ying, for the sake of our Nine-Tailed clan, please hand over the position of Grandmaster. More and more clansmen began to speak. Among them, there was no lack of principles masters. For a moment, many people agreed with them. Crazy, you're all crazy. Delon, do you know what you're doing? Shut up, all of you shut up. In the Nine-Tailed clan, there were also many experts who were not swayed and still followed Ying. At this moment, they all stood out. This was equivalent to 2 voices coming from within the Nine-Tailed clan. One was to ask Ying to hand over the position of clan leader, so that Shower could control the Nine-Tailed clan. The other was naturally following Ying as usual. The 2 voices appeared within the Nine-Tailed clan at the same time, causing the Nine-Tailed clan to fall into complete chaos. In the void outside the Nine-Tailed clan, many experts from the Divine Moon Palace's camp were still standing there, their gazes looking forward. Although they could not see what was happening in the Nine-Tailed clan's ancestral land because of the protective array, they could hear the chaotic voices coming from inside the Nine-Tailed clan. Obviously, the Nine-Tailed clan was now in a complete mess. It was a complete mess. Seeing this scene, Chenhuo Shuang could not help exclaiming in admiration, "Miss Shower's methods are really impressive." She revealed her identity at the gate of the Nine-Tailed clan's ancestral land, causing chaos in the Nine-Tailed clan. If I'm not wrong, the first person who said she would support her to regain control of the Nine-Tailed clan, Delon, should be the expert she secretly controlled. Shower had previously said that she controlled some people in the Nine-Tailed clan, but the status of the people she controlled was not too high. As and now, this Delon was only a void, 2nd-level principles master, but it was this kind of person who had played a huge role at the crucial moment, causing the Nine-Tailed clan to be in complete chaos. This Miss Shower's methods are indeed brilliant, but this world still relies on strength to speak. And in the Nine-Tailed clan, in terms of pure strength, the clan leader, Ying, is naturally the strongest. It's impossible for this Miss Shower to disintegrate the Nine-Tailed clan, just like that, and make that Ying obediently hand over the position of clan leader. If nothing goes wrong, it won't be long before the voice of support for Shower in the Nine-Tailed clan will be suppressed, said Demon Master Chenhuo. That's for sure. However, when Ying suppressed Delon and the others and completely suppressed the voice, Duanyu Marquis was not affected at all. When the Nine-Tailed clan has calmed down, the magic array will have been broken. Miss Shower's goal has been achieved. Jian Wushuang smiled. He knew very well that Shower's original intention was not to make Ying hand over the position of clan leader, nor was it to disintegrate the Nine-Tailed clan from the inside. Her real purpose was to attract the attention of the Nine-Tailed clan, and by time for Marquis Duanyu to break the array, so that the Nine-Tailed clan would not notice and disturb Marquis Duanyu. From the looks of it now, Shower had indeed completely attracted the attention of the Nine-Tailed clan. As time passed, the voice of support for Shower from the Nine-Tailed clan was gradually suppressed. But at this moment, Marquis Duanyu had already returned to Shower's side. How is it? Shower glanced at Marquis Duanyu. I have underestimated this 5 elements array. Although I have understood this array before, it is still quite difficult to truly crack it. Fortunately, with the assistance of the realm-breaking talisman, I was able to crack this 5 elements array. Right now, I have already infiltrated most of the 5 elements array, but the Nine-Tailed clan and the array spirit did not sense it at all. Next, as long as Miss Shower gives the order, I will be able to instantly crack this array. Duanyu Marquis said confidently, "That's great. Thank you, Duanyu Marquis. Shower was obviously excited. It's nothing. Duanyu Marquis smiled. Shower nodded and took a step forward. Her cold voice echoed in the air. Ying, have you thought about whether you want to hand over the position of clan leader or me? Ha ha, Divine Moon Palace Master. Your methods of bewitching people are indeed impressive. However, to think that you can control my nine-tailed clan with such a trivial trick is a little too whimsical. If you really have the ability, just do it. No matter what tricks your Divine Moon Palace has, my nine-tailed clan will take it. Ying's laughter echoed through the world. Chapter 3471, Destroying the Dead. At this moment, the nine-tailed clan had completely calmed down. Ying had also used her lightning-fast methods to control the nine-tailed clan into an iron plate. She was not afraid of Shower's bewitchment at all. Ying, this is your own choice. In that case, you can't blame me, Shower said coldly. There's no point in talking nonsense. If you have the ability, just bring your men and attack directly, Ying said. Hee, Ying, it seems that you're very confident in the nine-tailed clan's protective array. That's right. After all, it's a 5-element array obtained from the universe battlefield. Under normal circumstances, unless a sage realm master or a ruler-level powerhouse comes personally, it's impossible to break it. Unfortunately, there are exceptions to everything. Today, I want you to see how this protective array was broken. Shower smiled coldly. Marquis Duanyu, let's do it. Marquis Duan, you had already made full preparations. After Shower's signal, he smiled faintly and waved his hand, causing a green token to fly toward the array in front of him. This green token was the realm-breaking token. Realm-breaking token? Ying saw this green token in the array and recognized it at a glance. However, she still smiled lightly. So what if there is a realm-breaking token? Do you think that just because someone said so, this array can be? Before Ying could finish her words, she suddenly stopped. That was because she had already noticed that after the realm-breaking talisman entered the formation, the originally indestructible clan-protecting formation began to tremble crazily at this moment. The entire formation was trembling violently as if it was on the verge of collapse. At the same time, as the nine-tailed clan's clan leader, Ying also received a message from the formation spirit at the first moment. This message told her that someone had used a great method to infiltrate the inner part of the formation and had already broken most of it. Now that the realm-breaking talisman had been used, the formation could not withstand it and was about to collapse. How is this possible? This is the strongest formation of our nine-tailed clan. How could it be broken by someone? Ying's expression changed drastically. She did not believe that the strongest formation of the nine-tailed clan could be broken by someone. But the truth was in her eyes. Rumble, a violent rumble, suddenly came from the array formation. Following that, the 5 elements array formation that covered the entire nine-tailed clan began to collapse. The 5 elements, gold, wood, water, fire, and earth, scattered crazily. In the blink of an eye, the 5 elements array formation that the nine-tailed clan was proud of completely collapsed, and the nine-tailed clan was completely exposed in front of the many experts of the Divine Moon Palace camp. Ying, don't you just want to trap and guard this array formation and wait for the experts of the dark world to arrive? Do you think I don't know? Shower sneered, but unfortunately, this array formation has already been broken. You won't be able to wait for the experts of the dark world to arrive either. Those who belong to the Divine Moon Palace, charge in. Those who dare to resist will be killed without mercy. Shower's voice was solemn. Previously, no matter if it was to deal with the Howling Demon Clan or the Scarlet Gold Clan, Shower had given orders to keep the experts of the other party as long as possible, so as to facilitate her control and strengthen her own side. But now, facing the Nine-Tailed Clan, Shower displayed an unprecedented killing intent. It was clear that she did not want to rely on her charm to control the experts and clansmen of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Instead, she wanted to completely wipe out the entire Nine-Tailed Clan through a bloody massacre. Then, she would take control of it and make the Nine-Tailed Clan truly submit to her. The nature of these two were completely different. Hearing Shower's order, the numerous principals masters of the Divine Moon Palace camp instantly moved. Hung, 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 hung. One after another, incomparably powerful auras soared into the sky. Nearly 50 principals masters either transformed into a sea of fire, shrouded in boundless darkness, or were like blades or sharp blades, directly charging into the Nine-Tailed Clan. A terrifying aura that was like a raging wave completely enveloped and suppressed the Nine-Tailed Clan. The Nine-Tailed Clan was in a complete uproar. The expressions of the Nine-Tailed Clan members changed drastically when they saw the principal's masters swarming over like wasps. They knew very well that the Nine-Tailed Clan could not compare to the Divine Moon Palace in terms of overall strength. The only thing they could rely on was the Nine-Tailed Clan's clan protection array. However, they did not expect the clan protection array to be broken by the Divine Moon Palace. Without the protection of the array, the experts of the Divine Moon Palace directly charged over. How could they resist? Quick, stop them. No matter what price we have to pay, we must stop them. Low cries rang out one after another. Even though they knew that there was a huge difference in the battle strength between the upper echelons of the two sides, the masters of rules of the Nine-Tailed Clan still tried their best to meet them, wanting to stop the experts of the Divine Moon Palace. However, the principal's masters who chose to meet them were only a part of them. There was still a part of them. Previously, they were only forced by Ying's suppression, and then placed their hopes on the clan protection array. But now that the clan protection array was broken, this part of the experts immediately understood the situation in front of them. Hence, they gave up on resisting and did not attack. The people of the Divine Moon Palace also listened to Shower's orders. As long as they did not resist, they would not attack them. As a result, there was no way to resist the power of Divine Moon Palace in front of the experts of Divine Moon Palace. It was completely one-sided. It's as easy as crushing a dead branch. Jian Wushuang was still standing in the void outside the Nine-Tailed Clan. He looked calmly at everything in front of him. He also understood that since the protection formation of the Nine-Tailed Clan had been forced, moreover, when two different voices emerged in the chaos of the Nine-Tailed Clan, he knew that there was almost no suspense in this battle. If there was only one suspense, it would be Ying. After all, Ying is an expert at the peak of the 6 realms of the void. It's not easy to deal with him. Chenhuo, go. If you don't help, no one in the Divine Moon Palace camp will be able to stop him, Jian Wushuang said. He had already seen Ying fight with Axe 1 Master and Star Saint Master. Although they were fighting 1 against 2, Ying still had the upper hand. There was nothing he could do. Although Axe 1 Master and Star Saint Master were both at the 6 Void Realms, they were still far from the peak of the 6 Void Realms. If they joined hands, they could barely fight against Ying. What about you? Will you fight in this battle? Demon Master Chenhuo glanced at Jian Wushuang slowly. Of course, there are a few acquaintances of mine in the Nine-Tailed Clan. I have to greet them properly. Although Jian Wushuang was smiling, his smile was as cold as a blade. His eyes were already looking at the 2 people in the battlefield ahead. These 2 people were Diyu and Desu. Chapter 3472. Diyu in the Nine-Tailed Clan. The 2 people who had dealt with Jian Wushuang were Diyu and Desu. When he was outside the Bloodwave realm, Jian Wushuang was already on the verge of death when he was surrounded and killed by the inescapable net of the 3 Saint Realms. However, At this critical moment, Yu and Su had rushed to the battlefield with a group of principals, masters of the Nine-Tailed clan. For him, it was like adding insult to injury. Fortunately, he was lucky enough to survive that battle. However, he would not forget the people who had attacked him. Although Yu and Su had wanted to avenge the Nine-Tailed clan's saintess, he would not let them off since they were already in front of him. The battle within the Nine-Tailed clan was at its climax. Many experts from the Divine Moon Palace were trying their best to eliminate the resistance of the Nine-Tailed clan. Meanwhile, Demon Master Chenhuo had already stopped Ying with the help of Axe One Master and Star Saint Master. They had also suppressed Ying. At this moment, Jian Wushuang made his move. He ignored the principals, masters of the Nine-Tailed clan, and went straight to the center of the battlefield, appearing in front of Yu. Do you still remember me? Jian Wushuang said indifferently, "It's you." Seeing Jian Wushuang, Yu's eyes immediately turned scarlet. "Heavenly Sword Marquis, how dare you appear in front of me?" "Why not?" Jian Wushuang smiled. "Now, your Nine-Tailed clan is in great danger. Your mother, including you, is still in danger. Why do you still want to avenge the Nine Palace Saintess?" "Humph, you killed my sixth sister. This is irreconcilable." You shouted in a low voice. "Well, I'll give you a chance now. Let's fight to the death here." Jian Wushuang's voice was indifferent. He glanced at the three principals masters from the Divine Moon Palace camp. "Leave Yu to me. You don't have to interfere." "Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis, do you want a fair fight with her?" "Mr. Heavenly Sword Marquis, she's not weak. She's relatively strong among the four void realms. You have to be careful if you fight with her." "Yes, the three of us have been attacking her for so long, but we still can't do anything to her. It shows her strength." The principals, masters of Divine Moon Palace, said one after another, "Don't worry. I know what to do," Jian Wushuang said. Seeing this, the three principals masters did not say anything more. They immediately retreated to the side to deal with the experts of the other Nine-Tailed clan. No one will be in our way now. Make your move," Jian Wushuang said with a smile. "Heavenly Sword Marquis, since you want to die, you can't blame me." Yu's eyes were cold, emitting a cold light. "No need to talk nonsense. Bring out all your strength. Otherwise, you won't have a chance." Jian Wushuang's voice was indifferent, and the way he looked at Yu was also extremely cold. Yu's aura was slightly heavy, but suddenly a fierce light flashed in her eyes. Swish! A stream of light flashed, and Yu's figure disappeared in front of Jian Wushuang. "You're quite fast." Jian Wushuang smiled faintly. His soul perception could easily capture Yu's position. "Heavenly Sword Marquis, die." A cold voice came from the void beside Jian Wushuang. Jian Wushuang turned around and saw that the void had been shattered, and Yu emerged from it. At the same time, she was holding a long cyan spear in her hand. The long spear suddenly pierced through the void with a strange piercing force and rushed toward Jian Wushuang's head. Jian Wushuang was still standing there. When he saw the cyan long spear in front of him, he immediately sensed the strong power contained in the long sword. The piercing power of this spear was especially astonishing. Most importantly, at the moment the long spear came at him, a strange cyan light lit up into Yu's eyes. The cyan light shot toward Jian Wushuang like a demonic charm and directly entered his body. Jian Wushuang's body shook slightly, but he immediately returned to normal. Enchantment! Jian Wushuang sneered in his heart. Having lived 2 lives and experienced so many trials and tribulations, his heart had long been like a blade. Now, even if Shower used the 9-life heaven charm on him, it would be difficult for it to really affect him. Compared to Shower, Yu's enchantment was far inferior. It could not affect Jian Wushuang at all. After easily withstanding the charm attack, Jian Wushuang unsheathed his Blood Mountain sword. Buzz! A surge of shocking sword essence suddenly rose up. With a murderous intent, it shot into the sky. In the next moment, Jian Wushuang struck out with his sword. Wushuang Sword Manual, Shi Xiang. Whoosh! The huge blood-red sword light slashed out. Jian Wushuang had already activated his life divine power and even used his heaven-cleaving skill. The power of the sword reached its peak in an instant. Bang! The huge blood-red sword light smashed into the green spear with terrifying power. The green spear shook, and the terrifying impact made you unable to hold the spear. The cyan spear was also sent flying. However, the power of the blood-red sword beam did not decrease as it continued to slash at Diyu's divine body. Although Diyu was a ruler of the laws of the fourth level of the Void and a member of the Nine-Tailed clan, and her protective abilities were not ordinary, under the power of the blood-red sword beam, her divine body actually collapsed, and a large amount of divine power was annihilated on the spot. By the time her divine body recovered, her aura had weakened by nearly 40%. How is this possible? How can he destroy my divine body and destroy nearly 40% of my divine power with a single strike? Even an ordinary expert of the 5 Void realms can't do this. Diyu was terrified. She did not know that Jian Wushuang's life divine power and heaven-cleaving skill, combined with his 3 parts of will, were indeed more powerful than ordinary experts of the 5 Void realms. For example, in the Divine Ancestor Taoist sect, the Xian Master of the Nether Ancestor lineage was an expert of the Void 5 realms. He was considered an extremely powerful existence among the Void 5 realms, but when it came to power, as long as Jian Wushuang used the heaven-cleaving skill, he would be no match for him. In other words, once Jian Wushuang used the heaven-cleaving skill at full strength, his power could barely reach the peak of the Void 5 realms. An expert at the peak of the 5 Void realms could not bear the power alone. It was normal for her to lose 40% of her divine power with one sword attack. If she were to fight against an expert at the bottom of the 4 Void realms, with one sword attack, she could at least destroy half of her divine power and kill her opponent with another sword attack. As for the ordinary 2nd or 3rd Void realm experts, Jian Wushuang could kill them with one move. Chapter 3473, Space-Time Illusion Kill. Is this your strongest strength? Jian Wushuang held his sword with one hand and looked at Diyu coldly. Diyu widened her eyes and was speechless. An immortal saint destroyed her divine body and destroyed nearly 40% of her divine power with one sword. She could not accept this result. Your strength is too weak. It seems that you won't have a chance to avenge your 6th sister. Let me send you to reunite with your 6th sister. As Jian Wushuang spoke, a faint sword essence rose from his body. At the same time, a large amount of the power of space-time principles began to gather. Jian Wushuang stood in the middle of the battlefield, but at this moment, his heart was unprecedentedly calm. It was as if all the sounds and people around him had disappeared, leaving him alone and the sword in his hand. Suddenly, Jian Wushuang moved. He took a step forward, and the Blood Mountain sword in his hand fell down. As if he had teleported, he appeared behind Diyu, and no one saw how he passed through the void. Diyu was also completely stunned. She could clearly sense that her life force was running out, and more than 60% of her remaining divine power had been destroyed. How can it be so fast? Diyu murmured. You should be glad that it didn't take me long to comprehend this sword move. You should be proud that you were able to die under it. Jian Wushuang smiled and slowly sheathed the Blood Mountain sword. Diyu could not say a word. Her voice was completely cut off, but the strange thing was that although she was dead, her divine body was still intact. There was only a small sword scar on her neck. However, This sword mark destroyed all her divine power in an instant and killed her on the spot. The sword mark was caused by the sword skill that Jian Wushuang had just displayed. It was called the Instant of Life and Death. The Instant of Life and Death was a sword skill that Jian Wushuang had created in the Peerless Sword Manual. This sword skill was so fast that it could kill the opponent in an instant before the opponent had time to react. It could decide the opponent's life and death in an instant. This move was already very terrifying. However, with this move alone, even with Jian Wushuang's current strength, it was still impossible to destroy more than 60% of De's divine power in an instant without any reaction space. It was impossible. The reason why Jian Wushuang could do this now was because he had perfectly combined the move of the Instant of Life and Death with the Space-Time Illusion Kill. The Space-Time Illusion Kill was the fourth move of the Space-Time Divine Skill. Its nature was almost the same as the Life and Death Instant, and it was also a divine ability that could kill an opponent at a terrifying speed in an instant. In the Temporal Temple, during the 300 years that Jian Wushuang had cultivated with the Temple Master, the Temple Master had instructed him to try to integrate the Space-Time Illusion Kill into the Life and Death Instant. At that time, Jian Wushuang had also tried to do the same, but the process was very complicated and extremely difficult, so Jian Wushuang could only study it slowly. Over the years, he had been studying this unique move. Finally, during the days in the Divine Moon Palace, he had finally combined the Space-Time Illusion Kill with the Moment of Life and Death. Now, when he fought with Diyu, it was the first time he had truly used this move. He had instantly killed Diyu, who still had more than 60% of his divine power left. The Moment of Life and Death is one of the killing moves in the unparalleled sword scripture that I created. The Space-Time Illusion Kill is also an extremely terrifying killing move in the Space-Time Divine Skill. With the combination of the two, Jian Wushuang's eyes were shining. The Space-Time Divine Skill was a supreme divine skill created by the Temporal Temple Master. This divine skill was mainly used in some auxiliary means. It was a relatively different way of using space-time. For example, the heaven-designated skill was used to freeze space-time. The space-time annihilation was a large-scale annihilation method. The third move, space-time teleportation, was a life-saving divine skill. Each move was actually a special auxiliary means, but the fourth move was a real killing move, so it was naturally extraordinary. Unfortunately, although I have combined the space-time illusion kill with life and death, I am not very familiar with the combination process and have yet to reach the true power. With my current strength, perhaps the experts of the Void Fourth Realm won't have time to react, and their divine bodies will be cut by my sword. But if they are experts of the Void Fifth Realm, they might have a chance to react. Even if they can't keep up with my speed, they can still try their best to protect themselves. Jian Wushuang muttered. He was able to kill Diyu, who still had more than 60% of her divine power, mainly because she was not very strong. If he encountered an expert of the 5 Void Realms, it would not be easy for him to kill her with this move. But no matter what, Diyu is already dead. Then, Jian Wushuang went to look for Desu. Desu, your sister is dead. You should go with her. Jian Wushuang smiled, but there was a huge amount of killing intent condensed on his body. Desu was much weaker than Diyu, so there was no room for her to struggle in front of Jian Wushuang. In just a moment, Desu was also killed by Jian Wushuang after killing Diyu and Desu. Jian Wushuang left the battlefield and did not fight again. The war among the Nine-Tailed clan was coming to an end. Most of the experts of the Nine-Tailed clan either surrendered or gave up fighting. As long as a few of them were stubborn, under the siege of the many experts from the Divine Moon Palace camp, they were directly killed. Even though their strength had reached the level of Principal's Masters, it was very difficult to kill them. However, this was only in a one-on-one situation. However, if they were to face the siege of several experts and seal off space and time, There was no way out. These principals' masters were naturally easy to kill. It could be said that the Nine-Tailed clan was now completely under Shower's control. However, Shower still had the biggest problem that she had yet to solve. This problem was naturally that Ying, who had already reached the peak of the 6 states of the void, was also from the Nine-Tailed clan. Even though he had not awakened the Emperor Phoenix bloodline, his bloodline level was only second to the Emperor Phoenix bloodline. His innate advantage and talent were extremely great. In a one-on-one fight, even the Demon Master Chenhuo could not gain the slightest advantage against her. Even though the Demon Master Chenhuo had the help of Axe 1 Master and Star Saint Master, she could only slightly suppress Ying. However, Ying's combat strength was still extremely abundant. Even though the entire Nine-Tailed clan was now under Shower's control, she did not. She was still fighting with her life on the line. Chapter 3474, Demon Master Chenhuo and Ying. Bang, bang, bang. Deafening booms rang out one after another. In the void above the Nine-Tailed clan, on the main battlefield, a large area of space collapsed, then reassembled, then collapsed again. The spatial rifts that spread over hundreds of meters were devouring everything around them like a bloody mouth. The devouring power generated by such a huge spatial crack was enough to devour ordinary principals' masters. The scale of this battle was too large, and the power was too shocking. It was not something that ordinary principals' masters could interfere with. Those who dared to enter this battlefield were at least at the 5th level of the void, and they only dared to stand at the edge. And in the center of this battlefield, the ones who were fighting were shockingly those super experts who had reached the 6th level of the void. At this moment, the 4 of them were working together to crazily attack Ying. Even though Ying's strength was monstrous, facing the 4 of them working together, he still appeared to be in a rather miserable state. Another shocking rumble sounded, and a huge hole appeared in the sky. Nine-Tailed clan leader, at this point, aren't you going to surrender? Axe 1 Master said coldly. Surrender? Do you think the few of you are worthy? Ying laughed coldly. At the same time, he waved his hand, and a blood-colored claw mark tore through the void and appeared in front of Axe 1 Master. Axe 1 Master immediately waved the huge axe in his hand to block this claw. As expected of the Nine-Tailed clan, one of the Celestials, you have just reached the peak of the 6 states of the void not long ago, but with your innate advantage, the battle strength you unleashed is not inferior to mine at all. Demon Master Chenhuo said calmly. Your strength is also impatient. Ying glanced at Demon Master Chenhuo. Among the 4 people surrounding her, Demon Master Chenhuo was the strongest and posed the greatest threat to her. I have been staying in a secluded secret realm of heaven and earth for nearly 200 million years. After so many years, it has been a long time since I had a good fight with someone. Today, it is rare for me to meet a powerful opponent like you. I want to have a good fight, said Demon Master Chenhuo. Bring it on. Ying was not afraid at all. The 3 of you, step aside first. Demon Master Chenhuo glanced at Axe 1 Master and the other 2. Previously, he was worried that Demon Master Chenhuo would not be able to completely restrict Ying alone, allowing Ying to go to other battlefields and heavily injure the Divine Moon Palace camp. But now, the war between the Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed clan had ended. The entire Nine-Tailed clan was under Shower's control, leaving only Ying alone. In the face of such a situation, they were not afraid that Ying would stir up any more trouble. Since Demon Master Chenhuo wanted to fight Ying alone, Axe 1 Master, Star Saint Master, and Su Zhu would naturally do as Demon Master Chenhuo wished. As the 3 of them retreated, only Demon Master Chenhuo and Ying were left on the main battlefield. Nine-Tailed clan leader, am going to make my move." Demon Master Chenhuo was still smiling, but the crimson gold glove on his hand began to emit a rich golden light. "Sky God Annihilation." Demon Master Chenhuo suddenly roared. He clenched his right hand, and instantly a brilliant golden light surged up, enveloping the entire world in a golden color, and the fist formed by his hand was like a huge golden sun. This golden sun was extremely dazzling, illuminating everything in the world. Under the watchful eyes of everyone around, it suddenly attacked Ying in front. Ying narrowed her eyes slightly. She looked ahead, and the huge golden sun seemed to want to swallow her whole. And the terrifying power contained within the golden sun, she could naturally feel it very clearly. Humph! With a cold snort, behind Ying, a gigantic nine-tailed phantom condensed out of thin air, and dense bloodline power burst out. Although this bloodline power was not as pure as Shower's Emperor Phoenix bloodline, it was not weak either. After the nine-tailed phantom appeared, a sharp whistle suddenly resounded through the void. Following that, Ying extended her palm, and the void in front of her exploded inch by inch. A scarlet-red light suddenly flashed out. Not only was the speed of this blood light terrifying, but the power it released in an instant was also extremely powerful. In the blink of an eye, it collided head-on with the golden sun. When the two collided, instantly, boom, the void shook violently, as if the sky and earth were collapsing. The entire nine-tailed clan also began to tremble crazily. The void in the center of the main battlefield had completely disappeared. What replaced it was a huge, boundless space black hole. This space black hole covered the entire battlefield, and a large amount of spatial turbulence was surging crazily. It gave people a suffocating pressure. When the spectators outside the battlefield, including many principals masters on the battlefield, saw this scene, they could not help but gasp and light up. In the middle of the battlefield, after the two forces collided, both the Demon Master Chenhuo and Ying were pushed back at the same time. Both of them were pushed back a great distance by the powerful rebound force, and it was with great difficulty that they managed to regain their balance. Amazing! After the Demon Master Chenhuo regained his balance, his eyes emitted a bright light, and he let out a loud laugh. "You're also very strong. I think that after I broke through and got out of the Divine Beginning Realm, other than Saint Realm Masters, there shouldn't be anyone else who could be my match. I didn't expect that I would meet you in terms of cultivation base and the purity of power. You might be stronger than me. If it weren't for the innate advantage of the nine-tailed clan, I might not be your match," Ying added. "Ha! That's what makes it interesting." Demon Master Chenhuo continued to laugh. "To be able to take my divine extinguisher head-on without being at a disadvantage, you are also qualified to take my strongest move." Strongest move? Ying's pupils constricted. Chenhuo, who was watching the battle from outside the battlefield, as well as several experts from the Blood Marten clan, all understood. Demon Master Chenhuo's technique was extremely powerful in terms of his ultimate move. Although the divine extinguisher he had just used was extremely powerful and had almost destroyed the Blood Marten clan's clan-protecting array, with one move, it was not his strongest move. His strongest move was Dragon God Destruction. It seems that Chenhuo is going to use Dragon God Destruction. I've never seen this move before. I wonder how powerful it will be. Chenhuo was also looking forward to it. Everyone around the battlefield was also looking at Demon Master Chenhuo. At this moment, Demon Master Chenhuo's aura was extremely calm, but under this calmness, a shocking power slowly rose. Chapter 3475 Dragon God Annihilation Boom. The void trembled, and a surging golden airwave suddenly swept out from the surroundings of Demon Master Chenhuo. this golden airwave directly retreated into the surrounding void, and at this moment the power and aura that had gathered on Demon Master Chenhuo's body had also directly reached the peak. Dragon God Annihilation. The Demon Master Chenhuo slowly spoke, and his right hand slowly clenched into a fist. All the power gathered into this fist. Then it directly blasted out. In an instant, golden light exploded, filling the entire world. Another huge golden sun appeared in this world. At a glance, this golden sun was no different from the golden sun formed when the Demon Master Chenhuo used the God Annihilation. However, there were so many experts present, and they could see the difference between these two golden suns with a glance. If the golden sun formed when the God Annihilation was used earlier was to devour and annihilate everything, however, the golden sun at this moment carried an unprecedented wild and violent strength. This wild and violent strength was as though the golden sun would explode at any moment. The Dragon God Annihilation contained this explosive strength. This punch. Ying's eyes shrunk when she saw the golden sun in front of her. She was confident that she could block the golden sun earlier. However, the explosive force contained within the golden sun caused her heart to tremble. Humph! A cold snort sounded. Ying also attacked. The huge nine-tailed phantom was completely solidified at this moment. Following a sharp screech, the entire nine-tailed phantom stood up. Meanwhile, Ying's face was also flushed red and was nearly distorted. Her body was also filled with power. Break! With a low shout, a huge blood-red stream of light descended from the sky and slashed toward the golden sun like a blade. Hua! The moment the blood-red stream of light touched the golden sun, it instantly shot into the golden sun. However, it was unable to completely split the golden sun apart. It was only trapped within. The power contained within the flowing light was madly annihilating everything within the golden as sun. In the blink of an eye, more than half of the power within the golden sun had been annihilated by the blood-colored flowing light. However, the remaining power was still sweeping over. As the golden sun appeared in front of Ying, boom! The golden sun directly exploded. The terrifying impact force formed by the explosion momentarily overshadowed the heavens and earth. The terrifying airwaves formed wave after wave of impact waves that spread out like rotten wood. Ying, who was at the center of the battlefield, was naturally the first to receive the impact of the explosion. His entire body was also annihilated by the earth-shaking power. Rumble! Heaven and earth shook. This terrifying power continued for a long time before it slowly dissipated. When the power completely dissipated and the main battlefield was once again revealed, everyone immediately cast their gazes inside. In the center of the battlefield, Demon Master Chenhuo was still standing there. Even though she had used up a lot of divine power and her aura was weaker than before, her overall combat power was still not affected much. As for Ying, at this moment, her figure was in a bit of a sorry state. The robe on her body was obviously the transformation of a supreme treasure armor, but it was still torn, revealing her snow-white skin. At the same time, there was a trace of blood at the corner of her mouth. As for the aura on her body, it was clearly weaker than before. Taking a direct hit from my Dragon God Annihilation, it was only a light injury, and the godly power consumed was probably only about 20%. Nine-tailed clan leader is indeed impressive. Demon Master Chenhuo looked at Ying and said calmly, I have just broken through to the pinnacle of the 6th level of the void space not long ago, and I have not had the time to perfect my absolute art, nor have I created the strongest absolute art. In this aspect, I am inferior to you, Ying said in a deep voice as she stared at Demon Master Chenhuo. Absolute arts were also a huge factor in the overall strength of the cultivator. Regardless of whether it was the immortal saint or the principal's master, once they reached a certain level, they would think of ways to create a certain level of absolute arts. Take the principal's master, for example. His absolute arts were also divided into many levels, from the most basic level 1, level 2, level 3 absolute arts to level 6 absolute arts. Under normal circumstances, when a principal's master reached the level of the 6 states of the void, he would create a level 6 absolute art. If his strength reached the peak level of the 6 states of the void, he would naturally be able to create a level 6 pinnacle absolute art. However, a level 6 pinnacle absolute art was not the highest level absolute art among the principal's masters. Above the level 6 pinnacle absolute art, there was another strongest absolute art. This strongest absolute art could only be created by cultivators who had reached the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void. However, if some of the more talented peak-tier experts of the 6 states of the void were to spend time, they would also have the opportunity to create it. For example, the dragon god Annihilation of the demon master Chenhuo was created by him during his long time in the secret realm of heaven and earth. It was the strongest absolute art at the principal's masters. However, although Ying was weaker than you, demon master Chenhuo, in terms of cultivation, the absolute art she created was still at the peak level of level 6, which was quite different from the demon master Chenhuo's strongest absolute art. There was indeed a big gap between them. Nine-tailed clan leader, in terms of absolute art, you are still slightly weaker than me. If you continue to fight, you will lose without a doubt. Moreover, you are now alone, and I have the help of 3 experts of the 6 states of void. You have already lost this battle. Demon Master Chenhuo's voice was cold. You are very strong. We can't keep you here, but it's impossible for you to turn the situation around by yourself. So you should leave. Demon Master Chenhuo, Jian Wushuang, and Xiao knew that they could not keep Ying here with their current abilities, so they had to beat him back or let him leave on his own. But how could Ying be satisfied? Leave. Ying smiled coldly. Haha, it's ridiculous. In the clan leader of the nine-tailed clan, how could I abandon the clan and leave it to this rebel who came out of nowhere? The clan leader is unwilling to leave on his own. It seems that he wants to suffer. Demon Master Chenhuo's eyes turned cold. Axe 1 Master, Star Saint Master, and Su Lord also rushed over. It was obvious that the 4 of them were planning to attack Ying once again. Seeing this scene, Ying's expression turned ugly. However, he let out a strange laugh. Hee, you have the advantage in numbers. It's true that I can't fight against you all by myself. However, if you want me to leave just like that, you are underestimating me too much. I can leave, but before I leave, they'll make you pay the price. Chapter 3470, 6 The Clan Guarding Treasure, Pay the Price. Everyone looked at Ying, who was clearly in a frenzy with a strange expression. In the eyes of the experts present, the outcome of today's battle was already decided. Although Ying's strength was formidable, she was still facing the even stronger demon master Chenhuo and the other 3 principal's masters who had reached the 6th level of the void. In such a situation, what waves could she stir up? Could it be Xiao's expression suddenly changed? Back then, she had almost inherited the position of the Nine-Tailed clan's grandmaster. She knew many secrets of the Nine-Tailed clan, and looking at Ying's current appearance, Xiao immediately thought of something. And Ying's next action immediately confirmed Xiao's guess. Under everyone's watchful eyes, Ying flipped his palm and took out a mysterious black pearl. The black pearl was completely black and surrounded by a faint black air current. The black air current surrounded the early pearl and completely blocked the soul power of the experts present. Every time someone tried to use soul power to check the black pearl, they would immediately feel their soul power disappear into thin air, as if it was directly swallowed by the pearl. What a strange pearl! Jian Wushuang frowned. Soul-devouring pearl. It really is a soul-devouring pearl. Shower became nervous. Quick retreat. Shower shouted at the first moment. After hearing the shout, Lord Su immediately obeyed Shower's order and retreated. Axe 1 Master and Star Saint Master looked at each other in dismay. They did not know what the black pearl was, but they could tell that it was extraordinary. Therefore, they did not hesitate and retreated at the first moment. Only the demon Master Chenhuo was confident in his own strength. Even when he saw Ying take out the black pearl and heard Shower's stern cry, he did not have the slightest intention of retreating. Go to hell. Ying revealed a sinister laugh. She pushed the black pearl forward. Instantly, an extremely terrifying soul power burst out from the black pearl. This soul power she transformed into a black devil and instantly appeared in front of the demon master Chenhuo and covered him completely. Then, endless soul power crazily rushed into the demon master Chenhuo's divine body. Humph! The demon master Chenhuo let out a low snort, and his expression immediately changed drastically. This Axe 1 Master, Star Saint Master, and the others who had already retreated and were not covered by the soul power from the black pearl revealed shocked expressions when they saw this scene. The experts watching the battle were also shocked. Demon Master Chenhuo were in big trouble. Shower said, "Miss Shower, what's going on? What's the pearl that Ying took out?" Jian Wushuang's voice was low, and his face was very ugly. Demon Master Chenhuo had been following him and acting as his guard all these years. But on the surface, he was a guard. In fact, he and Demon Master Chenhuo had long become good friends. Now that he saw that Demon Master Chenhuo was in danger, Jian Wushuang was naturally extremely nervous. That pearl is the soul-devouring pearl. It can be said to be the clan-guarding true treasure of the nine-tailed clan. It's also the strongest trump card. Shower said, "Clan-guarding true treasure? The strongest trump card?" Jian Wushuang was stunned. The soul-devouring pearl was obtained by the ancestors of the nine-tailed clan from the universe battlefield. It doesn't have any terrifying power, but it has the ability to devour soul power. In other words, no matter how much soul power you have, as long as you touch the pearl, you will be completely devoured. And after the soul energy is devoured by the pearl, it doesn't disappear. Instead, it still exists inside the pearl. At this time, if the owner of the pearl guides it, the soul energy inside the pearl can instantly burst out and form the most terrifying soul attack. Shower said seriously, the ancestors of the nine-tailed clan knew the miraculous use of this pearl after they obtained the soul-devouring pearl. Therefore, the nine-tailed clan has always treated this pearl as their clan's supreme treasure. Over the long period of time, the soul-devouring pearl has been handed over to every clan leader. And every clan leader of the nine-tailed clan will try their best to feed the soul-devouring pearl with soul energy during their reign. There's even a place in the nine-tailed clan where the soul-devouring pearl is dedicated to the cultivation of the soul power of the members of the nine-tailed clan. The soul-devouring pearl is always there. The members of the nine-tailed clan would consume their soul power when they cultivate their soul power or some soul attack methods. However, the soul power that was consumed didn't disappear. Instead, it was devoured by the soul-devouring pearl. After being passed down from generation to generation, the soul power that was devoured by the soul-devouring pearl would naturally become more and more terrifying. In fact, it had long reached an unbelievable level. Once such a terrifying soul power was instantly released under the guidance of the controller, the soul impact formed by it would be unbelievably powerful. That's why the soul-devouring pearl is the strongest trump card of the nine-tailed clan. If the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl were to burst out, the soul attack formed in an instant could even kill a saint realm master. What did you say? Jian Wushuang's expression changed drastically. Once the soul-devouring pearl burst out, the soul attack formed could even kill a Saint Realm Master. But now, the soul attack that burst out of the soul-devouring pearl was on the body of the Demon Master. How could the Demon Master block it? Damn it! Jian Wushuang could not help cursing secretly, and he also complained to Shower. He did not expect that Ying would have such a terrifying killing move, and Shower did not warn him before. As if seeing Jian Wushuang's slight complaint, Shower hurriedly said, Jian Wushuang, the existence of the soul-devouring pearl is one of the greatest secrets of the Nine-Tailed clan. Only the Grandmaster has the right to know and control it. Although I was very close to becoming the Grandmaster, I have not really become the Grandmaster. Therefore, I have only heard a little about the soul-devouring pearl, but I am not sure if it really exists. It's too late for that now. Let's think of a way to help Chenhuo escape. Jian Wushuang snorted. Once the soul-devouring pearl is guided, the soul power that burst out in an instant cannot be stopped. However, perhaps because of Ying's limited ability, she did not guide all of the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl to burst out. Therefore, with the strength of Demon Master Chenhuo, she might have a chance to survive. Xiao said. The soul-devouring pearl had devoured the soul power that the Nine-Tailed clan had accumulated for countless years. If it were to burst out completely, it could even kill a Saint Realm Master. However, it would not be easy to draw out such a huge amount of soul power. Of course, it would not be easy. Chapter 3477 Chenhuo. Danger! Like the soul power that Ying had guided out of the soul-devouring pearl, although it was also extremely powerful, it was obviously not enough to kill a Saint Realm Master. However, if he could not kill a Saint Realm Master, he could still kill experts at the peak of the 6 realms of the void, or even the peak of the 6 realms of the void. Buzz, buzz, buzz. Endless soul power rushed into Demon Master's divine body like a raging wave, crazily destroying his soul. Demon Master had already closed his eyes and put all his energy into resisting the soul power. His face was extremely gloomy and unsightly. As time passed, the soul power around Demon Master slowly dissipated, but at the same time, his aura began to weaken. His aura is weakening too fast. Jian Wushuang frowned, his heart filled with worry. Finally, the soul power that Ying had guided from the soul-devouring pearl was completely exhausted, but at this moment, Demon Master Chenhuo's aura had reached the bottom and gradually disappeared. The aura of sinking fire, I can't sense it. Jian Wushuang's expression changed drastically. Although the Demon Master's ability to conceal his aura was amazing, he usually concealed his cultivation and still had his life aura. But now, not only Jian Wushuang, but everyone present, I can barely feel the presence of Chenhuo. Demon Master Chenhuo died. Many people in the mind all came up with this idea. Even if she didn't channel all of it and only channeled part of her soul power, she still couldn't make it. Shower's expression was also very ugly. After all, Demon Master Chenhuo was an expert in her camp. Moreover, she was Jian Wushuang's person. If she died in this battle because she had not told Jian Wushuang about the existence of the soul-devouring pearl, which made Demon Master Chenhuo wary, then her alliance with Jian Wushuang would probably collapse. They might even turn against each other. At this moment, the happiest person on the field was naturally Ying. Haha, dead. Good. Ying laughed with madness. So what if you're stronger than me? You still died at my hands, including divine moon palaces and heavenly sword marquee. You think you can make my nine-tailed clan submit to you without paying a price? Dream on. Ying. Shower stared at Ying with a cold gaze. Thanks. He's an expert at the peak of the 6 void realms. In the entire divine beginning realm, I'm afraid no one is his match except for experts at the Saint Realm or above the ruler level. However, he thinks too highly of himself and underestimates the means of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Dao Ying smiled to himself. He completely ignored Jian Wushuang's cold and piercing eyes. However, just when Dao Ying thought that Demon Master Chenhuo had died, he was overwhelmed with joy. Demon Master Chenhuo, who was still standing in the void with his eyes tightly shut, suddenly opened his eyes. The moment he opened his eyes, his aura, which had almost disappeared, suddenly rose at an incredible speed. In just a moment, it had reached its peak, but it continued to rise. In the end, it reached a whole new level. At the same time, a wild laughter suddenly sounded in the world. Ha ha! It's a blessing in disguise. It's really a blessing in disguise. In the void, everyone's eyes instantly locked on Demon Master Chenhuo. Chenhuo, Jian Wushuang, was overjoyed. He's not dead. The eyes of Acts 1 Master, Star Saint Master, and the others lit up. It's good that he's not dead. Shower heaved a sigh of relief. On the other hand, Ying's face instantly darkened. How is that possible? Your aura just now was clearly about to dissipate. How is it possible that he's not dead? Moreover, even though I didn't guide out all the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl just now and only guided a portion of it, this portion should be enough to kill anyone below the Saint Realm Master Realm. How can you withstand it? How is it possible that you're still alive? Ying's face was filled with disbelief, and her voice was completely deranged. Upon hearing this, the Demon Master Chenhuo smiled. Nine-Tailed Clan Leader, the soul attack contained in the pearl you took out is indeed very terrifying, and it's definitely the most terrifying soul attack I've ever encountered. If my soul, or rather, my state of mind, was slightly less tenacious, I'm afraid I would have died in that move of yours. Unfortunately, I've been alone in a secret realm of heaven and earth for nearly 200 million years. For the past 200 million years, I have endured endless boredom and loneliness. My mind and soul have also undergone a transformation in the past 200 million years. They have become indestructible and unshakable. This move of yours will never be able to kill me. Upon hearing the words of Demon Master Chenhuo, Jian Wushuang suddenly understood. Indeed, in order to resist a soul attack, the most important thing was the toughness of one's soul in addition to one's strong soul battle strength. And this toughness of the soul was achieved through endless training. As for the Demon Master, he did not train his soul through a lot of life and death experiences. He had improved his entire soul to a new level during the nearly 200 million years in the secret realm of heaven and earth. Who could stay in the heaven and earth secret realm alone for nearly 200 million years without going crazy? Demon Master Chenhuo had done it. His soul was unprecedentedly tough, so he naturally blocked the soul attack just now. Impossible, impossible. Your life aura just now has obviously disappeared. How could you recover? Ying was still unwilling to believe it. Ha ha! I have to thank you for that. Demon Master Chenhuo smiled. Nine-Tailed Clan Leader, I really have to thank you. Thank you for that killing move. If it weren't for you, I wouldn't have made the breakthrough so quickly. Breakthrough. Everyone was stunned when they heard this word. Could it be? Jian Wushuang's eyes flashed with a fierce light as he looked at Demon Master Chenhuo. Nine-Tailed Clan Leader, you may not know this, but when I was still trapped in the secret realm of heaven and earth, I had already reached the peak of the 6 void realms. I was only one step away from the peak of the 6 void realms, and it was a very small step. However, this step was always difficult to cross. After I left the secret realm of heaven and earth, I followed Heavenly Sword Marquis everywhere. In addition to this agreement between me and him, I also hope to meet more experts with him and have more opportunities to fight with top experts. As expected, I met you. Demon Master Chenhuo smiled. Chapter 3478. Ying was defeated, nine-tailed clan leader. I have to say that your killing move just now was indeed extremely terrifying. When that massive soul force charged toward me, even I almost died. However, it was precisely because of this move that I felt the existence of death. It was also precisely because of this life and death crisis that stimulated my potential, allowing me to finally grasp the fourth law and take that small step. That's why I have to thank you, nine-tailed clan leader. Demon Master Chenhuo laughed loudly. His laughter was very carefree. It was obvious that he was pleasantly surprised by this breakthrough between life and death. How is this possible? This move of mine was meant to kill you. How can it help you? Also, you have already lived for so long and have reached the peak of the 6th level of the void. Logically speaking, your potential should have been used up long ago. How can you still break through between life and death? Ying was still in disbelief. The surrounding experts also found it hard to accept. Jian Wushuang was the only one who could understand. Chenhuo was publicly recognized as a genius elder before the Purple Star Demon sect was destroyed. His talent is very shocking, and his potential is extremely great. If he cultivated normally, he would have had a chance to become a ruler. It's just that after the Purple Star Demon sect was destroyed, Chenhuo was trapped in the secret realm of heaven and earth and could not gain any experience. But even without any experience, he still managed to raise his strength to the peak of the 6 void realms, just one step away from the peak. Such talent. Jian Wushuang knew very well that perhaps it was because of the innate terminated meridians that Demon Master Chenhuo was so talented. Previously, his cultivation had stagnated because he had been trapped in the secret realm of heaven and earth. However, that did not mean that Chenhuo's potential had been exhausted. Now, he had come out of the secret realm of heaven and earth with Jian Wushuang and re-entered the divine beginning realm. In this fight with Ying had used his final killing move. It could be said that he had experienced a life and death crisis that he had not experienced in the past 200 million years. As the saying went, when one accumulates strength, one will gain strength. Demon Master had accumulated too much. Now that he had experienced the life and death crisis that he had not experienced for a long time, it was natural for him to make a breakthrough. Chenhuo, congratulations on taking this step. You should be invincible below the master of the Saint Realm. Are you sure you can kill Ying? Jian Wushuang looked at Demon Master Chenhuo. Yes, he said. Kill her. Demon Master Chenhuo narrowed his eyes. My strength has improved a lot, but I don't know if I can really kill her. Then let's try it. It'll help you. Jian Wushuang smiled and waved his hand. Instantly, the power of temporal principles spread out. In an instant, the entire nine-tailed clan was covered. The space-time shackles, together with the space-time shackles, immediately affected Ying. Humph, it's just a small trick. Ying snorted. His body shook slightly, and the space-time shackles were instantly broken. However, Demon Master Chenhuo had already made his move. Bang! The void rumbled as Demon Master Chenhuo's body swayed in a strange manner. With this sway, Demon Master Chenhuo appeared in front of Ying as though he had teleported. So fast. Ying's expression changed drastically. When she fought with Demon Master Chenhuo previously, the latter's speed was extremely fast. However, it was not that fast. But now, the Demon Master's speed was so fast that she could not even see him clearly. After his figure appeared, the Demon Master formed a fist with his right hand and blasted out. In an instant, the world seemed to be on the verge of completely collapsing. The gigantic golden sun appeared in the void once again. However, the size of the golden sun was now a full circle larger than before, and the power it contained was naturally much greater than before. The golden sun brought with it an earth-shattering might as it directly covered Ying when she felt the power contained within the golden sun. Ying's heart twitched a little. However, she was not satisfied with her reaction, and she immediately used all her strength to resist. A blood-colored stream of light descended from the sky like a blood-colored bolt of lightning. It directly hacked toward the golden sun, wanting to split it apart. But in the end, the blood-red light struck the golden sun, producing a crisp sound. The power of the golden sun was greatly weakened, but it was only weakened. The blood-red light was destroyed by the golden sun. Then it continued to attack Ying. Not good. Ying's expression changed. He wanted to dodge, but it was too late. His body was covered by the huge golden sun. Then, endless power erupted from the golden sun. Rumble! The surrounding void was shaking crazily. One terrifying power after another formed a shocking airwave that swept out crazily. The countless experts watching the battle could not help but suck in a breath of cold air when they saw the terrifying scene in the center of the battlefield. And this shocking power only lasted for a moment before gradually dissipating. When everything dissipated, everyone looked over again and discovered that Ying's current figure was abnormally wretched even though she was still standing there. The clothes on her body were also stained with blood, especially her aura. It had already been greatly weakened, and her divine power had already been consumed by more than 30% in that instant. I've lost 30% of my divine power in one move. The principal's master, who is at the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void and has mastered 7 levels of willpower, is indeed terrifying. I'll show you. Ying took a deep look at the demon master Chenhuo. Then he immediately transformed into a strange cyan phantom and rushed toward the void behind him. You want to escape? Jian Wushuang's face darkened. He immediately used the space-time binding to try to limit Ying's speed. However, Ying was an expert at the peak of the 6th realm of the void. Although he had lost a lot of divine power, his battle strength was still there. Jian Wushuang used the golden sky painting flag to use the space-time binding at full strength. It might have an effect on an expert at the peak of the 5th realm of the void, or even an ordinary expert at the 6th realm of the void, but it was of little use to Ying. Under everyone's gaze, Ying burst out with terrifying speed and fled. In the blink of an eye, he had disappeared from everyone's sight. Meanwhile, the demon master Chenhuo moved. At first, he wanted to chase after Ying, but he obviously hesitated for a moment before stopping in the end. There was nothing he could do, even though his current strength had completely surpassed Ying's. If Ying wanted to escape, it would be very difficult for him to stay. Chapter 3479. It was possible, it was best that Ying did not stay completely and she did not die. An expert who had reached the peak of the 6 states of the void was a great threat to the Divine Moon Palace, and Shower, who had regained control of the Nine-Tailed clan. However, this was within her expectations. When Shower decided to attack the Nine-Tailed clan, she already knew that it was impossible for her side to kill Ying. They could only force Ying back. This could not be helped. As for Ying's threat, she could only think of a way to deal with it in the future. In any case, the Nine-Tailed clan was now completely under Shower's control. Whoosh! In a flash, Demon Master Chenhuo had returned to Jian Wushuang's side. Chenhuo, congratulations on reaching the pinnacle of Principal's Master. The next step should be to advance to the ruler level. Jian Wushuang looked at Demon Master Chenhuo with a faint smile. I was lucky enough to take this step. As for the ruler level, how could it be so easy? Chenhuo shook his head with a smile. The word ruler level was too important. It had been many years since the creation of the divine beginning realm. However, after such a long time, there were very few ruler-level experts in the divine beginning realm. Every one of them was extremely talented. Furthermore, they had gone through endless experiences and had definitely obtained great opportunities before they became rulers. As for the demon master Chenhuo, if nothing had happened to the Purple Star Demon sect, he would not have stayed in the heaven and earth secret realm for nearly 200 million years. Instead, he would have stayed in the divine beginning realm or had been training in various places in the universe battlefield. Then he might still have some confidence in reaching the ruler realm, but now he was talented, but he had wasted nearly 200 million years in the secret realm of heaven and earth, which had a great impact on him. Although he still had hope of becoming a ruler in the future, the hope was not great. Whether he could break through to become a ruler in the future depended on luck. I'm not in a hurry to become a ruler. You, on the other hand, should think of a way to break through to become a principal's master. If you can't even break through to become a principal's master, how can you reach an agreement with me? Demon Master Chenhuo said. Principal's master, Jian Wushuang, touched his nose. In fact, in terms of combat strength, he was now considered very strong among the principal's masters of the 5 void realms. However, he was still an immortal saint. He did not even have the slightest sign of breaking through, let alone becoming a principal's master. I have a feeling that I'm still quite far from becoming a principal's master. At the very least, I have to completely master the destruction principles and even completely merge the destruction principles with the space-time and reincarnation principles in order to have a chance of breaking through, Jian Wushuang thought to himself. After chatting with Demon Master Chenhuo for a while, Shower, Acts 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master walked over. Demon Master Chenhuo, congratulations on stepping into the pinnacle of Principal's Master. Shower said first, as far as I know, only Elder Darkbone has reached the pinnacle of Principal's Master in the divine beginning realm. Now, Brother Chenhuo has also reached it, Acts 1 Master said. Only after reaching this step can one truly walk unhindered in the divine beginning realm. Even a Saint Realm Master would not be able to kill a Principal's Masters who has reached the pinnacle, said Marquis Duanyu. Everyone is too polite. Demon Master Chenhuo only smiled faintly. Although he was pleasantly surprised by his breakthrough just now, he had calmed down now. After all, although it was important for him to take this step, it was still not enough for him to take revenge. After all, the one who destroyed the Purple Star Demon sect was the Flame Saint Realm, one of the 3 Saint Realms. Now, he still had to rely on Jian Wushuang. Miss Shower, is there any trouble in the 9-tailed clan? Jian Wushuang glanced at Shower. Shower smiled faintly. She said, because of my identity, many clansmen of the 9-tailed clan have already sided with me in their hearts. Even the stubborn ones have almost died in the battle just now, and most of the remaining ones are willing to submit. Even if there are a few stubborn people hiding in there, it doesn't matter to the overall situation. Besides Dao Ying, doesn't the 9-tailed clan have a second expert in the 6th realm of the void? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes, but this person is not on the same side as Dao Ying. When the war broke out, I had planned to ask Lord Su to keep her busy. I didn't expect that she had no intention to fight back. She has been standing there without putting up any resistance. Now she is willing to submit to me. With her help and the absolute strength of my divine moon palace, nothing will happen to the 9-tailed clan, Shower said. That's good. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly. If you regain control of the 9-tailed clan, the power in your hands will reach a whole new level. Don't forget your previous agreement with me. Don't worry. After the 9-tailed clan has calmed down, I will help you to deal with the Blood clan. Shower said, however, there is another problem in the 9-tailed clan. De Ying is, after all, an expert at the peak of the sixth realm of the void. Although she has been defeated, she will not be satisfied. She will definitely find a way to regain control of the nine-tailed clan. With such a big hidden danger, I always feel that there is a thorn in my heart. Why? Do you want to completely remove this thorn? Jian Wushuang looked at Shower. Of course, but this thorn is too powerful. How can it be so easy to remove? Shower said, helplessly. In fact, Miss Shower, if you really want to kill Ying, there is a way. A voice suddenly sounded. It was Marquis Duanyu. Hearing this, Jian Wushuang and Shower looked at Marquis Duanyu in unison. Marquis Duanyu, do you have a way to kill Ying? Shower looked at Marquis Duanyu with a glimmer of light in her eyes. Marquis Duanyu smiled. He said, Ying is indeed very strong. It's very difficult to kill her with normal means. Even with an expert at the pinnacle of the principal's master realm, like Demon Master Chenhuo, Ying can still escape even if she can't defeat him. Therefore, it has been said in the divine beginning realm that only a Saint Realm Master or a Master-level expert can kill an expert at the pinnacle of the six states of the void. But in fact, it's not the case. Marquis Duanyu, do you really have a way to kill an expert at the pinnacle of the six states of the void? Jian Wushuang was also interested. After all, the Blood Clan leader that he wanted to kill had the same cultivation. Previously, he had been worried about how to kill him. Now, if Marquis Duanyu had a way to kill Ying, he naturally had a way to kill the Blood Clan leader. Chapter 3480 Netherjade 5 Kill Array. It's not impossible to kill the strongest expert of the six states of the void. Marquis Duanyu smiled faintly. To put it bluntly, the reason why it's so difficult to kill the strongest expert of the six states of the void is because such an expert doesn't wait for his own strength to be tyrannical, and his life-saving ability is also extremely strong. If we really compare strength, Ying is obviously weaker than Demon Master Chenhuo. But if Ying wants to escape, Demon Master Chenhuo can't do anything about it. In that case, we just have to find a way to prevent Ying from escaping. No way to escape. Jian Wushuang and the others were surprised. That's easy to say, but how can we prevent an expert at the peak of the six states of the void from escaping? How can an ordinary array block an expert like Ying? Shower said, of course not. But what if it's a high-level special array from the universe battlefield? Marquis Duanyu smiled. I may not know about other special arrays in the universe battlefield, but I know of one that can trap an expert at the peak of the sixth realm of the void. What kind of formation? Jian Wushuang and Shower immediately looked over. The Netherjade 5 Kill formation. Marquis Duanyu said, this formation is a high-level killing move and is used to kill enemies. However, its trapping ability is also very good. After all, if you want to kill someone, you must first keep him alive. And this formation requires 5 cultivators of the same realm to control it at the same time. The power of the formation is also determined by these 5 people. If you want to use this formation to trap and kill experts at the peak of the sixth realm of the void, then you must let 5 experts at the sixth realm of the void control it. 5 experts who have reached the 6th level of the void. Shower's expression changed. I have a beard master under my command, and the 6th level of the void that the Nine-Tailed Clan has now also submitted to me. There are 2 6th level of the void here, and if we include Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master, there are exactly 5 of them, and their realms are all the same. Miss Shower, the 3 of us have come to help you under the orders of the Palace Master. However, the Palace Master only said that he would help you regain control of the Nine-Tailed Clan. He did not say that the 3 of us would help you kill Ying. Marquis Duanyu smiled and said, as for me telling you, about this Netherjade 5 killing array. Now, I am only telling you a method to kill Doring. He did not say that the three of us would personally help you. Yes, the three of us have helped you regain control of the Nine-Tailed Clan and completed our mission. As for the rest of the matter, we don't intend to interfere, Axe One Master said with a smile. But the method I mentioned is indeed feasible, Marquis Duanyu continued, as long as the 5 experts of the 6 Void Realms work together to cast the Netherjade 5 kill magic formation. We can guarantee that Ying will not be able to escape from the magic formation. Then, as long as Demon Master Chenhuo acts personally together with the magic formation, we can definitely kill Ying in the magic formation. Jian Wushuang nodded secretly. Indeed, as long as Ying was trapped in the magic formation and could not escape, Demon Master Chenhuo would definitely crush her with her strength. It was not impossible to kill her. At most, it would take some strength and effort. Marquis Duanyu, your method is feasible, but if the 3 of you don't take action, where can I find the other 3 experts of the 6 Void Realms to set up the Netherjade 5 kill magic formation? Shower rolled her eyes at Marquis Duanyu. How about I ask your Palace Master again? Miss Shower, before we left, Palace Master had already gone into closed-door cultivation. Even if you send a message to him now, I'm afraid you won't get any reply from him. Marquis Duanyu smiled. But if Miss Shower really wants the 3 of us to help, it's actually not impossible. But it depends on your opinion. Me. Jian Wushuang was puzzled. My lord, I've said before that the Palace Master has instructed us to help you with anything after we understand the Nine-Tailed Clan. In fact, if you need our help, we are just following your orders. My lord, if you need our help, we won't refuse. Of course, that includes killing Ying for Miss Shower. Is that so? Jian Wushuang's eyes lit up. That is to say, as long as Jian Wushuang agrees, you 3 will help me. Shower was also surprised. Of course, from now on, the 3 of us will listen to you until Palace Master gives us another order, Marquis Duanyu said. That's great. Marquis Duanyu, Axe One Master, and Star Saint Master, am in an alliance with Miss Shower. We're on the same side. Ying is a great threat to Miss Shower's Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan. If we can get rid of this threat, we'll get rid of it as soon as possible, Jian Wushuang said. We understand what you mean. In that case, it'll teach Lord Su and the other principals master of the 6 Void Realms of the Nine-Tailed Clan about the 5 killing formation. From today on, the 5 of us will practice the formation together and try to control it as soon as possible, Marquis Duanyu said. Thank you, Marquis Duanyu, Jian Wushuang said. But the problem now is that even if we have completely mastered the 5 killing formation, we still don't know the exact location of Ying. I'm afraid it won't be easy to find her and kill her, Marquis Duanyu said. That's a problem, but it doesn't matter, Shower said. As long as we master the formation and have the ability to kill Ying, the rest will be easy. After all, this Ying has been chased out of the Nine-Tailed Clan by us. She will definitely be unwilling, and there will definitely be waves in the future. Moreover, she will be quite confident in her own strength. She won't think that we have the ability to kill her, so she won't be too low-key in her actions. With our Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan's intelligence abilities, as long as she dares to show her face, we will be able to immediately find her existence. Therefore, the most urgent matter now is to master the Netherjade 5 kill array formation as quickly as possible. In that case, I'll ask Miss Shower to make a space in the Nine-Tailed Clan so that we can focus on practicing the Netherjade 5 kill array, Marquis Duanyu said. No problem. I'll make the arrangements now. Shower nodded. The Nine-Tailed Clan had completely calmed down. After Shower took control of the Nine-Tailed Clan, she immediately arranged a place for Marquis Duanyu and the others to practice the Netherjade 5 kill array. Chapter 3481 Tricky. After Xiao regained control of the Nine-Tailed Clan, Jian Wushuang stayed in the clan. During this period, Marquis Duan Yu, Acts 1 Master, Star Saint Master, Master Su, and Master Shadow Fox, the master of the rules of the 6 Void Realms, had been practicing the 5-killing formation of the Netherjade, since the formation was prepared to deal with Doing, and it was difficult to guarantee that there were still loyal Doing members in the Nine-Tailed Clan. The place where they practiced the formation was completely isolated. Except for a few people, no one could enter. Naturally, no one knew what they were doing inside. During this time, Jian Wushuang was very relaxed. Occasionally, he would drink tea and chat with Demon Master Chenhuo. It's been half a year. If I'm not mistaken, Marquis Duan Yu and the others should have practiced their magic formation by now, Jian Wushuang said. I've personally seen the magic formation they practiced. The power of the magic formation is indeed amazing. After the 5 of them joined hands to cast the magic formation, even if I was trapped inside, it would be difficult for me to break it. However, at that time, they were not very familiar with the magic formation. Now, they should be able to break it, Demon Master Chenhuo said. The level of the Netherjade 5-kill formation was extremely high. Originally, it would be extremely difficult for even a 6th-level void martial artist to master it, and the time required would be very long. But fortunately, there was Marquis Duan Yu, who had extremely high attainments in the formation, and he was also one of the 5 people who controlled the formation. Thus, although this formation was used by 5 people at the same time, the main person who controlled it was Marquis Duan Yu. Therefore, in about half a year, they should be able to master the magic formation. Once the magic formation is completed, Xiao will find an opportunity to kill Doing, but Jian Wushuang's expression changed. Chenhuo, if Doing is really trapped in the Netherjade 5-kill magic formation, and you kill her yourself, are you sure you can kill her? Although Jian Wushuang was very confident in the strength of Demon Master Chenhuo, Doing was, after all, an expert at the peak of the 6th realm of the void. I can't say for sure. Demon Master Chenhuo shook his head. However, after I take this step, my strength is much stronger than before. It's definitely not difficult for me to crush Doing. As for killing her, it's very likely that she can't escape. How confident are you? Jian Wushuang looked at Demon Master Chenhuo. 50%. After all, this Doing will definitely go crazy and do whatever it takes. She has been the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan for so many years, so she must have many trump cards. The soul-devouring pearl she used on the battlefield may only be one of them. If I really push her to the limit, I don't know whether I can kill her or not, or I can't guarantee that I will be able to withstand her desperate use of her trump card, said Demon Master Chenhuo. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes slightly. Indeed, to kill an expert at the peak of the 6 void realms, not only did she have to be unable to escape, but she also had to be careful of her counterattack. Anyone would be desperate before they died, let alone this Doing, and a Doing at the peak of the 6 void realms, who was also the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan, would be quite terrifying if she was desperate. Under such circumstances, it was not easy to continue to kill her. Even if she was killed in the end, there was no guarantee that they would not pay a price. At this moment, Xiao flew over from the distance and appeared directly in front of Jian Wushuang and Demon Master Chenhuo. Jian Wushuang, Demon Master Chenhuo, Xiao said with a solemn expression. Miss Xiao, judging from your solemn expression, have you found the whereabouts of Doing? Jian Wushuang asked. During the past 6 months, Xiao had ordered the intelligence agencies of Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan to do their best to find the existence of Doing. As Xiao had expected, Doing did not keep a low profile. She was often found. However, since 3 months ago, Doing seemed to have suddenly disappeared. the intelligence agencies of Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan could not find her again. Yes, I found her, but it's because of this that I'm in a tricky situation. Shower said. Tricky? Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows. De Ying has already been driven out of the Nine-Tailed Clan. Is she going to cause any trouble? If it was just her alone, it wouldn't be a big deal. We could have set off to kill her at any time after Marquis Duan, you, had completely mastered the 5-killing formation of the Dark Jade. However, we didn't expect her to go to the Blood Clan during the 3 months when she disappeared. Said Shower in a low voice. Blood Clan. Jian Wushuang narrowed his eyes and stood up immediately. Why did she go to the Blood Clan? If I'm not mistaken, she wants to join hands with the Blood Clan to fight against the Nine-Tailed Clan. Shower said. So, the Blood Clan agreed. Jian Wushuang frowned. In her opinion, the Blood Clan and the Nine-Tailed Clan were one of the 4 great divine clans. They should not really fight against the Nine-Tailed Clan for the sake of a Daring. After all, the Nine-Tailed Clan and Divine Moon Palace had now joined hands. Their overall strength had long surpassed that of before. Now, in the Demon Realm, all the clans believed that the Nine-Tailed Clan was the strongest among the 4 great divine clans. At this juncture, the Blood Clan should not be so blind as to provoke the Nine-Tailed Clan. Jian Wushuang, you don't know that the 4 great divine clans in the Demon Realm are not as calm as they appear on the surface, especially the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Blood Clan. Shower said in a deep voice. The Blood Clan and the Nine-Tailed Clan have been fighting for a long time because of the proximity of their territories. Sometimes the Nine-Tailed Clan is superior to the Blood Clan, and sometimes the Blood Clan is superior to the Nine-Tailed Clan. In short, the 2 divine races have been fighting for an unknown number of years and have accumulated a huge amount of hatred toward each other. No matter who we are, as long as there is an opportunity, we will definitely attack each other without hesitation. And this time, because of me, the Nine-Tailed Clan and the Divine Moon Palace have joined hands, and their strength has increased to an unprecedented level. This naturally made the Blood Clan wary and even fearful. As for Doing, she also knows that it is already very difficult for her to regain control of the Nine-Tailed Clan by herself, so she naturally has to find helpers. The first person she thought of should be the Dark Clan. However, although the Dark Clan is on good terms with the Nine-Tailed Clan and owes the Nine-Tailed Clan a favor, this favor is owed to the Nine-Tailed Clan, not her, Daring. Therefore, when the Dark Clan knows that the war between the Divine Moon Palace and the Nine-Tailed Clan is merely an internal conflict between the Nine-Tailed Clan, the Dark Clan will not pay any attention to it. At this time, even if Dao Ying finds the Dark Clan, she won't get any help from the Dark Clan, so she can only go to the Blood Clan. Chapter 34, 82, Severe Soul Injury. The Blood Clan has always been wary of the current Nine-Tailed Clan. Now that Dao Ying has taken the initiative to seek refuge with us, we naturally agree. Shower's expression was solemn. If that's the case, then it's really troublesome. Jian Wushuang also nodded slightly. Moreover, your goal is to kill Daring, and my goal is to kill the clan leader of the Blood Clan. If we deal with these 2 people one by one, as long as Marquis Duanyes formation is complete, it's absolutely possible to kill them. However, now that the 2 of them have joined hands, it's too difficult to deal with them both at the same time. Jian Wushuang was well aware that if De Ying and the Blood Clan had not joined hands, they could have killed them one by one with Marquis Duanyes' 5-killing formation. However, if the 2 of them had gathered together, it would not be enough for them to kill the 2 of them at the same time. After all, Demon Master Chenhuo was powerful, but he was not confident that he could kill Doing alone, not to mention that there was a Blood Clan Grandmaster who was no weaker than Daring. We have no choice but to wait. After all, the Blood Clan and the Nine-Tailed Clan have been fighting for so many years. Previously, Ying was the Blood Clan Grandmaster. Under such circumstances, Ying and the Blood Clan might not be able to forget about the past. It may not be long before their alliance is broken. At that time, we can still proceed according to the plan. In addition, even if they really forget about the past, Ying and the Blood Clan Grandmaster cannot stay together forever. We can wait. As long as they separate, we can attack immediately and still have a chance to kill them, Jian Wushuang said. Yes, that's what I thought. I've instructed the chess pieces in the Blood Clan to pay close attention to the movements of Ying and the Blood Clan leader. As soon as they have a chance to separate, we will attack immediately, Shower said. Jian Wushuang nodded slightly, but his heart was still heavy. After all, if Ying really joined hands with the Blood Clan leader, it would be much more difficult and unpredictable to kill them than before. They could only wait for an opportunity. Time passed, and another half a month passed in the blink of an eye. During this half a month, the 5 Principals Masters on Marquis Duan Yes side had already grasped the Dark Jade 5-kill array. Once it was used, even the Demon Master Chenhuo wouldn't be able to escape for a while, and to trap Ying, who was much weaker than the Demon Master Chenhuo or the Blood Clan leader, there was naturally no problem. At the same time, Shower had also received the news from the Blood Clan. The news has been confirmed. Ying has indeed joined hands with the Blood Clan. In order to show her sincerity, she gave the soul-devouring pearl, the most precious treasure of the Nine-Tailed Clan, to the Blood Clan. The Blood Clan has accepted her completely, Shower said in a deep voice. Upon hearing this, Jian Wushuang, Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and the others all had ugly expressions on their faces. Soul-devouring pearl. This is a treasure that almost caused Chenhuo to lose his life. How could Ying give it up? Jian Wushuang frowned. It's just a treasure, not to mention that the Nine-Tailed Clan left it behind. Now that Ying is no longer the clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan, of course she doesn't care about this precious treasure. But the problem is that she has gained the trust of the Blood Clan with this treasure. Next, she will join hands with the Blood Clan completely, Shower said coldly. In addition, the people I left behind also said that Ying immediately went into seclusion after gaining the trust of the Blood Clan. They also told the Blood Clan that she would be in seclusion for a long time, as if to heal her injuries. Heal? Jian Wushuang's expression changed, and he immediately looked at Demon Master Chenhuo. Chenhuo, did you hurt Ying badly? I think so, Demon Master Chenhuo said calmly. After I made a breakthrough, Ying suffered a lot of damage to her divine body. However, because of her immortal body, she only lost part of her divine power. Perhaps it will take some time for her to recover after reaching her level, but it's not necessary for her to go into seclusion to recover her divine power. In that case, why is she in seclusion? Jian Wushuang was puzzled. I understand. Shower suddenly stood up. She said, if I'm not wrong, Ying is indeed injured. However, it's not the damage to her divine body or the consumption of divine power, but the damage to her soul. The damage is so great that she must immediately enter seclusion to recover. Soul damage. Jian Wushuang's expression changed. You mean when she channeled the soul power of the soul-devouring pearl, she also suffered the damage from the soul power? That must be the case. Shower nodded. He said, seriously, I didn't know much about the soul-devouring pearl. I've only heard a little about its use, but it's one of the biggest killer moves of the Nine-Tailed Clan. The previous clan leaders of the Nine-Tailed Clan have told me clearly that unless we are on the brink of death, we must not use the soul-devouring pearl. However, if it's only because the soul-devouring pearl consumes a large amount of soul power, then because the soul power that the soul-devouring pearl has consumed over a long period of time is ridiculously large, There's no need for such restrictions. Therefore, there's only one possibility, and that is that while the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl is activated, the guide will also suffer the backlash from the soul power. The more soul power she channeled, the greater the backlash. It's understandable why Ying didn't channel all the soul power in the soul-devouring pearl during the battle. I'm afraid it's not because she didn't want to channel it, but because she knew that the more she channeled, the greater the damage to her soul. That's why she didn't dare to be so reckless. Now that she has been defeated and retreated to the Blood Clan, she naturally has to think of a way to recover her soul. Furthermore, after using the soul-devouring pearl once, she clearly knew how terrifying the backlash power contained in the soul-devouring pearl was. She didn't dare to use it a second time, so she handed the soul-devouring pearl to the Blood Clan without any hesitation. All of this can be explained. Hearing Shower's words, the experts present immediately understood. Looks like that's the case. Star Saint Master also stood up. He said, "Although I don't know about the soul-devouring pearl, I more or less know about the soul. In order to guide such a huge wave of soul energy that doesn't belong to me to cause an impact on my opponent, I naturally have to bear a huge risk. If that's the case, then Ying should be in a weakened state. This is the best time for us to kill her." Acts 1 Master also said, Chapter 3483, requesting for more help. That's true, but that Ying is currently in the territory of the Blood Clan. Even if she is currently in a weakened state, if we want to kill her, we still have to pass through the Blood Clan. As for the Blood Clan, in terms of overall strength, they are slightly stronger than the previous Nine-Tailed Clan. Of course, the overall strength of our Nine-Tailed Clan currently surpasses that of the Blood Clan. Shower said, "Are we going to kill Ying directly?" Acts 1 Master narrowed his eyes. The Blood Clan also has a clan-protecting formation, but it's not as powerful as the Nine-Tailed Clans. It's not difficult to break it, Marquis Duanyu said with a smile. If we really want to fight, we have to kill more than just Ying. If possible, we have to kill the clan leader as well. Jian Wushuang said, "Kill the clan leader." Marquis Duan, you raised his eyebrows. It's already difficult enough to kill Ying just by charging into the territory of the Blood Clan. But if we want to kill the clan leader, I'm afraid our current lineup is not enough. That's true. Jian Wushuang nodded. He understood that it would require extraordinary combat strength to charge into the Blood Clan and kill both Ying and the clan leader at the same time. And on their side, even though they had Demon Master Chenhuo and a total of 5 Void 6th level Principles Masters, the only one who could truly threaten Ying and the Blood Clan leader was actually Demon Master Chenhuo alone. If our camp can have another expert like Demon Master Chenhuo, then it is possible to charge into the Blood Clan and kill Ying and the Blood Clan leader. Acts 1 Master suddenly said, "That's easy to say. However, in the divine beginning realm, among the Principles Masters, the only one who could match the current Demon Master Chenhuo is probably Elder Darkbone. Elder Darkbone has a strange personality. Even if the 3 Great Saint Realm Masters or the Ruler Realm experts personally invite him, he might not give us face, let alone us," Shao said. Of course, an ordinary person wouldn't be able to invite him. But didn't the Heavenly Sword Marquis have dealings with Elder Darkbone? Back on the Saha Island, the 3 Saint Realms set up an inescapable net to kill you. At that time, Elder Darkbone stood on your side and helped you fight against a master of the Saint Realm, Acts 1 Master said with a smile. In that battle, Elder Darkbone did help me a lot, but he helped me because his disciple owed me a favor. He was just returning the favor for his disciple, Jian Wushuang said. Really? Acts 1 Master smiled. He said, "My young friend, I'm afraid you've underestimated this Elder Darkbone. He lived for a very long time, not only because of his own strength, but also because he ignored the fights between the forces in the divine beginning realm. No one would look for trouble with him. Even though he finally got a disciple and loves this treasure, do you think he would offend the 3 Saint Realms and even fight the master of the Saint Realm for this treasure? Jian Wushuang frowned. He had thought about this question before, but since Elder Darkbone had left after the battle, he did not have the time to ask. Therefore, he could only take it as Elder Darkbone, returning the favor to his disciple. However, if he thought about it carefully, there were indeed many things that were not right. Axe One Master, are you saying that Elder Darkbone helped me for other reasons? Jian Wushuang asked. Of course. As for this reason, you will know it in the future. Now, you can go directly to him and ask him to help you. He will most likely not refuse you. If he really refuses, you can say that you came to him on the orders of Star Palace Master. He will definitely not refuse you, Axe One Master said confidently. Okay, I'll go look for Elder Darkbone now. Jian Wushuang nodded. Immediately, Jian Wushuang took out a message token. This message token did not belong to Elder Darkbone, but to his disciple, Underworld Emperor. Underworld Emperor. Jian Wushuang directly sent a message to Underworld Emperor. A moment later, Underworld Emperor replied, Brother Heavenly Marquis, how come you have time to look for me? Are you still trapped in the trial your master gave you? Jian Wushuang asked first. In the Blood Wave realm, Jian Wushuang and Emperor Ming fought side by side, and they were good friends. Even after they separated, they would occasionally communicate with each other. Jian Wushuang also knew that not long after Emperor Ming became a principal's masters, his master, Elder Darkbone, sent him to a special place, saying that it was to give him a trial. Until now, Emperor Ming was still trapped in that experience. I can't help it. The test my master arranged for me is very difficult. I can't get out of here in a short time. Emperor Ming smiled. Let's not talk about this. Brother Heavenly Marquis, you must have something else to talk to me about today, right? Yes, I have something urgent. I want to talk to Elder Darkbone, but I don't have Elder Darkbone's communication token, so I can only talk to you, Jian Wushuang said. That's easy. Although my master left me here, he has been staying here by himself. I'll send a message to him from my body. Please wait for a moment, Underworld Emperor said, and then sent a message to Elder Darkbone. A moment later, he got the result. Brother Heavenly Marquis, my master has come. He will take my message token and communicate with you, Underworld Emperor said. Not long after that, a slightly hoarse voice came from the other side of the token. Heavenly Sword Marquis, I heard that you have something to ask me? Yes. Jian Wushuang took a deep breath, and then said seriously, Senior, I want to ask you to help me with something. Help. Elder Darkbone paused. Then he said faintly, Heavenly Sword Marquis, you should know that I don't have any entanglement with you. The reason I helped you outside the Blood Wave realm was because my disciple owed you a favor. Since the end of the battle, my disciple has already repaid the favor. Now, neither I nor my disciple owes you anything. Why should I help you? Senior, I know I can't force you to do anything, but I really need a strong helper like you, so I have no choice but to ask you. If you help me, I will definitely remember your favor. Jian Wushuang said seriously, Your favor? Well, it's worth considering. Elder Darkbone smiled faintly, but he did not directly agree. Senior, I came to invite you on the orders of Palace Master Star Palace. Jian Wushuang said again, Palace Master Star Palace. Elder Darkbone's voice obviously changed, but then he smiled and said, I didn't expect Star Palace to make contact with you so soon. It's really unexpected. Chapter 3484 Elder Darkbone arrived. What Elder Darkbone said made Jian Wushuang's heart skip a beat. Obviously, Elder Darkbone knew about Star Palace, and he knew that Star Palace would definitely contact him. Well, since Star Palace has already contacted you, and it's under the instructions of Star Palace Master, it'll help you again. Tell me, what do you need me to do? Elder Darkbone said with a faint smile. Senior, I want to kill Ying and the Grand Master of the Blood Clan. However, they are, after all, two experts at the peak of the sixth realm of the void. Although I can set up the 5-kill formation of the Netherjade to prevent them from escaping, I only have Chenhuo, an existence at the peak of the sixth realm of the void. He alone is not sure that he can kill them, so I need your help, Jian Wushuang said. Ying is the former clan leader of the Nine-Tailed Clan, together with the clan leader of the Blood Clan. Both of them are extremely powerful. If they work together, even if they are trapped by the magic formation, it would be difficult for an expert of the ultimate 6 realms to kill them. However, if we can gather 2 experts of the ultimate 6 realms of the void, we have a much greater chance of killing them. Elder Darkbone said with a strange smile. That's right. We've also received news that Ying's soul has been severely injured. He should be in a weakened state now. If you attack him, together with our demon master Chenhuo and 5-kill formation, there's a high chance of killing them, Jian Wushuang said. Heavenly Sword Marquis, you should be in the Nine-Tailed Clan now, right? Elder Darkbone said with a strange smile. It seemed that although he did not care about worldly affairs, he had been paying attention to some major changes in the Divine Beginning realm. News of the Nine-Tailed Clan's change had already spread in the Divine Beginning realm, so Elder Darkbone had obviously received the news. It's in the Nine-Tailed Clan. When will Senior come? Jian Wushuang asked. Since you said that Ying is currently in a weak state, I can't give her a chance to catch her breath. You'll leave now. You can wait for a few days in the Nine-Tailed Clan, Elder Darkbone said. Thank you, Senior. Jian Wushuang was pleasantly surprised. Then, Jian Wushuang cut off the communication with Elder Darkbone. Seeing Jian Wushuang put away the communication token, Shower, Axe 1 Master, and the others immediately looked over. My young friend, how did it go? Axe 1 Master asked with a smile. From his smile, it could be seen that he had the answer in his heart. Elder Darkbone has agreed, and he will be coming soon, Jian Wushuang said. That's great. Shower's eyes lit up. With Elder Darkbone, the strongest expert in the 6 realms of the void, and Demon Master Chenhuo, as long as our 5-kill formation can prevent Ying and the Blood Clan leader from escaping, they will almost certainly die. Marquis Duanyu said, seriously. When everyone knew that Elder Darkbone would arrive, they calmed down. However, no one noticed that Demon Master Chenhuo had narrowed his eyes. Elder Darkbone, an ultimate expert of the 6 states of the void. I really want to meet him. Demon Master Chenhuo muttered to himself. In just 10 days, Elder Darkbone had arrived at the Nine-Tailed Clan. Besides his disciple, Underworld Emperor, there was also a handsome and dignified middle-aged man in a golden robe, Brother Heavenly Sword Marquis. Underworld Emperor was the first to speak and shouted enthusiastically, Underworld Emperor. Jian Wushuang greeted his good friend, and then went to Elder Darkbone and bowed respectfully. Elder Darkbone. Elder Darkbone had helped him at a critical time, and he had come to help him this time. Jian Wushuang naturally respected such a person, who was also a super expert. Mr. Elder Darkbone. Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master also said to show their respect. Elder Darkbone nodded slightly, but then he looked directly at Shower and said, Deji, long time no see. How have you been? I've experienced 9 reincarnations. After so many years, I thought you should have left the Divine Beginning realm a long time ago. I didn't expect you to stay here, Shower said with a strange tone. Elder Darkbone, do you know Miss Shower? Jian Wushuang asked in surprise. Of course. Elder Darkbone smiled. Deji and I have known each other for many years, but it's because of that person. Him? You mean Di Shi-san? Jian Wushuang asked. Yes. Elder Darkbone nodded. I've been in the divine beginning realm for a long time. During this time, I've met countless experts, but I think I can slightly suppress them as long as they haven't reached the Saint Realm Master or the Master level. However, Di Shi-san, who was at his peak, was the only exception. Di Shi-san is indeed a talented man. His understanding of sword principle has gone beyond the realm of the divine beginning realm and reached a whole new level. A whole new level? Jian Wushuang was stunned. Yes, in the divine beginning realm, one's understanding of sword principle is limited to 3 levels. At the 3rd level, one can derive all things. This level is actually the limit and end point for many sword principle cultivators in the divine beginning realm. However, Di Shi-san's understanding of sword principle has gone beyond the 3rd level and reached a higher level, the 4th level. It's a whole new realm, not to mention ordinary principles masters. Even many master-level experts can't reach it. That's why his swordsmanship is so terrifying. No one can block his killing sword. Di Shi-san, who had reached the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void, used a shocking technique during the world-ending war. He chopped off the arm of a master-level expert with one sword. That sword move was earth-shaking. At this point, Elder Darkbone could not help exclaiming in surprise. However, Jian Wushuang's heart was shocked. In his previous life, he had interacted with Di Shi-san many times. Moreover, when Lung Rukshu's master's consciousness incarnation had descended into the eternal chaotic world, Di Shi-san had said that he had cut off one of his arms. Now, it seemed that the person whom Elder Darkbone said was cut off by Di Shi-san should be Lung Rukshu's master. Jian Wushuang had thought that Lung Rukshu's master was also a master of the Saint Realm, but now it seemed that was not the case. Lung Rukshu's master was a genuine master-level expert. Under such circumstances, Di Shi-san was able to cut off one of the master's arms. It was evident how powerful Di Shi-san was at that time. No wonder Elder Darkbone praised him so much. Chapter 3485 Life Fall King, because Di Shi-san was so powerful that even I was amazed. I went to see him more than once to spar with him. Di Shi-san did not refuse to fight with him. After a few times, we have more or less established a friendship. When I came into contact with Di Shi-san, I naturally came into contact with Deji. Elder Darkbone said with a smile. I see. Jian Wushuang understood. It turned out that Elder Darkbone was not acquainted with Shower, but with Di Shi-san. By the way, Elder Darkbone, who is this? Jian Wushuang looked at the middle-aged man in a golden robe next to Elder Darkbone. He is my good friend in the universe battlefield, Life Fall King. He just happened to visit me this time, so I brought him along. Elder Darkbone laughed. After all, it's difficult to kill 2 experts at the peak of the 6 void realms. If Life Fall King was there to help, nothing would happen. Oh, Jian Wushuang could not help looking at Life Fall King again. In his perception, Life Fall King was in an ethereal state like Demon Master Chenhuo. He could not sense the existence of the other party's specific aura and strength, or even his ability to conceal his aura. It seemed that Life Fall King was even more powerful than Demon Master Chenhuo. Heavenly Sword Marquis, there's something I have to tell you first. It's my good friend, Life Fall King. He's actually a Chaos Master. Elder Darkbone suddenly said. What? Jian Wushuang was shocked. Not only him, but Shower Demon Master Chenhuo, Axe 1 Master Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master were also shocked. Master, a master-level expert. Jian Wushuang looked at Life Fall King in astonishment, but Life Fall King smiled faintly and said, "Don't listen to Elder Darkbone. I'm only at the 6th realm of the void." What do you mean? Jian Wushuang was puzzled. My good friend is indeed a chaos master, but he's not a native ruler born in the divine beginning realm. He's from outside the divine beginning realm and from the universe battlefield. Elder Darkbone said, "A ruler from outside the divine beginning realm?" Jian Wushuang was shocked. Rulers from outside the divine beginning realm will be restrained by the heavenly will of the divine beginning realm after they arrive in the divine beginning realm. This pressure is greater than the pressure exerted by the power of the heavenly will on rulers born in the divine beginning realm. For example, the rulers who rose up in the divine beginning realm, such as Temporal Temple Master, Heaven Cleaving Alliance Master, and others, are still suppressed by the heavenly will in the divine beginning realm, but their combat strength is still stronger than that of ordinary masters of the saint realm. But the overlords from the outside world will be suppressed by the will of the heavenly Tao, so he can only exert the battle strength of the 6th realm of the void. Of course, even if he only has the battle strength of the 6th realm of the void, I'm not confident that I can defeat him, Elder Darkbone said. Is that so? Jian Wushuang raised his eyebrows, but then his expression changed again. No, if that's true, then during the world-ending battle, countless experts fought their way into the 7-star mysterious sect. At that time, there were also masters from outside the world who intervened. If these masters from outside the world were suppressed by the will of the heavenly Tao, then how could the 7-star mysterious sect be defeated? This is actually very easy to understand. Elder Darkbone smiled. Heavenly Sword Marquis, you should know how those masters from outside the world came about during the world-ending battle. They are. Jian Wushuang's heart skipped a beat, but he already somewhat understood. Those overlords came to the divine realm because of the will of the heavenly Tao. It can even be said that the power of the will of the heavenly Tao invited them. Since the will of the heavenly Tao invited them, how could the will of the heavenly Tao give them too much pressure? Therefore, although the overlords from the divine beginning realm were still suppressed, they were still able to display battle strength that was no weaker than that of Temporal Temple Master, Heaven Cleaving Alliance Master, and the others in the divine beginning realm. That was why the 7-star mysterious sect was defeated, Elder Darkbone said. Upon hearing this, Jian Wushuang could not help but come to a realization. I did not enter the divine beginning realm by the will of the heavenly Tao. Instead, I entered by myself. Naturally, I'm under a lot of restrictions, so don't count on me, Life Fall King said with a smile. Although he was a genuine chaos ruler, Life Fall King did not put on too much airs in front of Jian Wushuang and the others. Instead, he was very gentle and willing to talk to them. Life Fall, don't be humble. Even though you're bound by a lot of restrictions, you can still help a lot by killing experts at the peak of the 6 void realms. I'm afraid that neither Ying nor the Blood Clan leader will be able to block your death magic, Elder Darkbone said with a strange smile. Hearing Elder Darkbone's words, Jian Wushuang and Shower felt relieved. They had thought that if Elder Darkbone came, they would have more than half of the success. They did not expect that he would bring a ruler-level expert, Life Fall King, along with him. Although Life Fall King was restricted by the power of the will of heaven and could only exert the battle strength of the 6 void realms, the strength of a ruler was naturally incomparable to that of an ordinary principles master. With the addition of Life Fall King, their plan this time could almost be said to be without any surprises. By the way, Heavenly Sword Marquis, when you sent me a message earlier, you said that you have an expert who has reached the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void. You must be talking about him, right? Elder Darkbone looked at him with a strange gaze. he had already looked at Demon Master Chenhuo. Yes, let me introduce him. This is Demon Master Chenhuo. He has just broken through to the pinnacle of the 6 realms, Jianwu Shuang said. The divine beginning realm is the oldest and most recognized principle's master, Elder Darkbone. I've heard a lot about you. Demon Master Chenhuo stared at Elder Darkbone with a strange look in his eyes. In the divine beginning realm, there was only one expert who reached the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void. Now, there are 3 more. Congratulations. Elder Darkbone laughed. There's another one. Jianwu Shuang was stunned. Aren't you the only expert in the divine beginning realm who has reached the pinnacle of the 6 void realms? Shower also looked at Elder Darkbone. No, there is indeed another expert besides me. You haven't met him yet, but you will definitely meet him in the future, Elder Darkbone said. I don't care if you meet him in the future, but I know that I have met one now, said the Demon Master Chenhuo, suddenly a bright light flashing in his eyes. Chapter 3486 Sparring. Chenhuo. Jianwu Shuang could not help looking at Demon Master Chenhuo. I've been lonely for too long. It's rare for me to meet a decent opponent. How could I miss it? Demon Master Chenhuo said. Jianwu Shuang nodded secretly. He could understand. Before the Purple Star Demon sect was destroyed, Demon Master Chenhuo was a genius. He was also very belligerent and liked to challenge experts everywhere. After the destruction of the Purple Star Demon sect, he stayed in the secret realm of heaven and earth for nearly 200 million years alone. Just as he said, he had been lonely for too long, and he had not had a good battle with anyone for a long time. Even after he came out of the secret realm of heaven and earth, he still did not meet any opponents because he was too strong. The only one he met was probably Ying from before. However, after he made a breakthrough in that battle and reached a new level, an expert at Ying's level was no longer qualified to be his opponent. Now, only experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms were qualified to be his opponent. There were only 3 such experts in the entire divine beginning realm, including him. It was too difficult to meet them. Now that Elder Darkbone was standing in front of him, he naturally did not want to miss this opportunity. Knowing this, Jianwu Shuang did not stop him. Elder Darkbone, do you want to fight with me? Demon Master Chenhuo asked directly. Elder Darkbone also looked at Demon Master Chenhuo with a strange look, but then he smiled slightly. Experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms are indeed very difficult to meet in the divine beginning realm unless they are in the universe battlefield. Now that we can meet one, it doesn't matter if we fight. Hearing this, the surrounding people could not help but become excited. Elder Darkbone had obviously accepted the challenge. The fight between 2 experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms was certainly exciting. After all, we're in the 9-tailed clan. I'm afraid we won't be able to fight freely. Let's find another place, Elder Darkbone said. Okay. Demon Master Chenhuo nodded, and then the 2 directly rushed out of the ancestral land of the 9-tailed clan. Let's go and take a look. Jianwu Shuang, Life Fall King, Shower, Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, Star Saint Master, and Shadow Fox Master did not want to miss the battle and followed them. They came to an empty space not far from the ancestral land of the 9-tailed clan. Then they made way for a huge battlefield, with Demon Master Chenhuo and Elder Darkbone standing in the center of the battlefield. A golden fist glove appeared in the hands of Demon Master Chenhuo. This fist glove was given to me by Master when Purple Star Devil Sect was still around. Later, I found someone to refine and strengthen it. Finally, it was upgraded to a top-tier true treasure. Its name is Golden God. Demon Master Chenhuo said indifferently. Top-tier true treasure. Elder Darkbone smiled. A top-tier true treasure from the divine beginning realm. It's powerful, but it's nothing compared to a universe true treasure. However, today's battle is just a sparring match. To be fair, I want use a universe true treasure. I got this blade many years ago, but I've never used it since. I'll use it to fight you today. As Elder Darkbone spoke, a pitch-black blade appeared in his hand. This blade looked ordinary, but anyone could feel a shocking coldness from it. Without a doubt, this blade was also a top-tier true treasure, but it was clearly not Elder Darkbone's strongest godly weapon. There was nothing he could do about it. Elder Darkbone had lived for too long, and he often went to the universe battlefield to explore. He even had a lot of universe true treasures, many of which were more powerful than the top-tier true treasures in the absolute beginning godly world. As for Demon Master Chenhuo, he had never been to the universe battlefield, and he had stayed in the universe secret region for a long time, so he had no chance to collect more powerful true treasures. The glove in his hand was indeed his most powerful godly weapon. Sinking fire, make your move, Elder Darkbone said with a faint smile. Even though he was facing Demon Master Chenhuo, who was at the same level as him and was at the pinnacle of the 6 levels of the void space, Elder Darkbone still looked very relaxed. It was as if Demon Master Chenhuo was not really in his heart. And Demon Master Chenhuo had also noticed this. Although he was not angry, he had already used his actions to express his dissatisfaction. Boom! A sudden explosion of air could be heard. The void where Demon Master Chenhuo was originally at had instantly turned into nothingness. His figure had already disappeared in that void, and when he reappeared, he had already arrived in front of Elder Darkbone. At the same time, his right hand had already turned into a huge star, directly striking toward Elder Darkbone. When Elder Darkbone saw this, he unhurriedly slashed out with his blade. This blade was soft, as if it did not possess any power. However, as the blade light passed by, an empty tunnel appeared. In the blink of an eye, the fist of the Demon Master clashed with the blade light. Pung! The void exploded on the spot, and a black hole with a diameter of nearly 1,000 meters appeared in this vast world. Black hole! What a huge black hole! This area is simply unbelievable. The strongest expert of the 6 void realms is indeed extraordinary. The surrounding 6 void realm principles masters who were watching the battle could not help but exclaim in admiration. Even though they were all at the 6 void realms, the gap between the ordinary 6 void realms and the pinnacle of the 6 void realms was too great. One had to know what was the pinnacle of the 6 void realms. That was after one had completely grasped and fused the 3 principles, comprehended the 4th principle, and grasped the 7th portion of the power of the will. But the ordinary 6 states of the void, including the experts at the peak of the 6 states of the void, only grasped 6 will's power. Compared to the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, there was 1 less will's power, and the difference of 1 will's power. How huge was it? To put it bluntly, the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void actually did not belong to the scope of the 6 states of the void. Speaking of which, they could already be considered to have reached the 7 states of the void. They had an extra portion of will power compared to the 6 void realms. In terms of pure divine power, they were far above the 6 void realms. Just like now, when the Demon Master and Elder Darkbone were fighting, the 2 of them were clearly just casually attacking and did not use any ultimate moves or secret techniques. However, the power that burst out in that instant caused the several experts of the 6 void realms present to be shocked. The casual attack of the Demon Master and Elder Darkbone was not something that ordinary void 6-stage experts like them could achieve. At the same time, it was also something that they could not withstand. Walala, after the spatial black hole appeared, the void started to recover at a terrifying speed. Meanwhile, the Demon Master and Elder Darkbone had already retreated. Chapter 3487 was easily deciphered, just comparing power. The two of them looked similar. Axe 1 Master said, "Very normal. Both are at the pinnacle of the 6 realms of the void, and both have grasped 7 portions of willpower power. In terms of basic power, they are comparable. The only difference is that both have grasped the fusion principles, and who is more proficient in a head-on collision. But now, it seems that both have grasped the nature of the laws, and they are not too different." Marquis Duanyu laughed. "However, the power of the divine power is about the same, so it doesn't mean much." Axe 1 Master added, "As expected, in the center of the battlefield, the two people who had separated moved again. This time, the two of them moved at the same time, but in an instant, their figures disappeared from everyone's sight. While the spectators were still thinking of ways to capture the figures of the two of them, bang! A loud boom was heard. The two had already exchanged blows in the void of the battlefield. The power that burst out in an instant was earth-shaking, and the airwaves swept wildly. The spectators were affected by the power and immediately looked toward the source. However, when they looked over, they could not see anything. Instead, another violent boom was emitted from another void. Boom, boom, boom. The booms came one after another. Not only Jian Wushuang, but even the rules masters of the 6 void realms could not catch the figures of Demon Master Chenhuo and Elder Darkbone. They could only follow the booms to find their positions. However, when they followed the voice, they found that Demon Master Chenhuo and Elder Darkbone were already in other places. It was too much for them to handle. Everyone's eyes could not keep up with the speed of Demon Master Chenhuo and Elder Darkbone. Too fast, too fast. I'm a principal's master of the 6 void realms, but I can't keep up with their speed. Indeed, the experts at the pinnacle of the 6 void realms are really terrifying. Axe 1 Master, Marquis Duanyu, and Star Saint Master could not help but exclaim in admiration. Even they could not keep up with the speed of Demon Master Chenhuo and Elder Darkbone, so Jian Wushuang naturally could not keep up with them. This is true speed. Jian Wushuang clenched his hands. Although I have comprehended the space-time principles and am very good at speed, many experts at the 5 void realms can't keep up with me. When I use my full strength, my speed is like a child's play compared to Senior Sinking Fire or Elder Darkbone. It's ridiculous. On the battlefield, the speed unleashed by Demon Master Chenhuo and Elder Darkbone was indeed too shocking, and it was very obvious that the two of them were currently competing in speed. This competition lasted for a long period of time. The two of them had clashed nearly 100 times, but they were still unable to determine the victor. "Ha, Demon Master Chenhuo, your speed is indeed very impressive." Elder Darkbone let out a strange laugh. "Among the principles I control, there are 2 major principles, wind and thunder. I myself am quite good at speed, but I didn't expect that my full speed would still be unable to surpass yours." Demon Master Chenhuo narrowed his eyes. "Just based on speed, it is impossible to determine the victor. You should bring out your true ability." Elder Darkbone laughed. "As you wish." Demon Master Chenhuo's face was cold. A majestic power had begun to gather around him. At the same time, a rich golden light began to erupt from the scarlet gold glove on his right hand. "Here it comes, the ultimate move of Chenhuo." Jian Wushuang's pupils shrank. The 2 most powerful ultimate moves of Demon Master Chenhuo were Divine Destruction and Dragon God Destruction. Judging from the power accumulated by Demon Master Chenhuo and his movements, he must have intended to use Divine Destruction first. Boom! Heaven and earth shook, and endless golden light gathered. In the blink of an eye, a huge golden sun rose up. The golden sun brought with it an incomparably terrifying impact force as it crushed toward Elder Darkbone. Although they stood outside the battlefield and were far away from the golden sun, the spectators, including the principals masters of the 6 void realms, could not help but feel a sense of fear when they saw the golden sun. I could not help but feel a sense of dread. It was as if the golden sun were to come at them, and they would not be able to resist it. But as a golden sun target of Demon Master Chenhuo, but only a faint smile, followed by the hands of the pitch-black sword again cut out, is still light, as if there is no strength of a knife, but the moment the knife light cut out, but with a sense of destruction. Instantly, the saber light flashed through the golden sun, directly splitting it in half. The earth-shaking might contained within the golden sun also retreated to the sides. My sky god Annihilation was actually broken so easily. Seeing the result in front of him, even the Demon Master Chenhuo could not help but reveal a trace of surprise. Demon Master Chenhuo, do you have any more powerful ultimate moves? Elder Darkbone still looked at the Demon Master Chenhuo with a faint smile. Humph. Demon Master Chenhuo snorted coldly, and in an instant his majestic might once again condensed. The sky was still filled with golden light, and it was still that enormous golden sun. However, at this moment, the golden sun that Demon Master Chenhuo displayed was a full size larger than before. Furthermore, this golden sun had a wildness that the previous golden sun did not have. This wildness was as if this golden sun could explode at any time. Dragon God Destruction, the most powerful ultimate move of the Demon Master Chenhuo, had already been fully displayed in his hands. At this moment, the Demon Master Chenhuo had also used his full strength, and looking at the golden sun at this moment, Elder Darkbone's gaze finally tightened. Not only has he broken through to the pinnacle of the 6 states of the void, he has even created the most powerful ultimate move. Interesting. Elder Darkbone smiled again, following which the pitch-black battle saber in his hand slashed out once again. Hua! This saber was no longer the soft and feeble one from before. This saber strike was rather swift and fierce, and it was indomitable. In the blink of an eye, the saber light had already slashed onto the golden sun, and in an instant, the golden sun split apart. However, before the shocking might contained within the golden sun started to erupt, that pitch-black saber light already had a world-destroying intent. It completely annihilated the power contained in the golden sun. In other words, the huge golden sun had already been annihilated by the saber light of Elder Darkbone before it could even erupt with its proper power. Elder Darkbone was still able to easily neutralize Demon Master Chenhuo's most powerful move, Dragon God Annihilation. How is this possible? Demon Master Chenhuo was stunned. He blocked it so easily. Jian Wushuang was also very surprised. It's a little too powerful. Axe 1 Master and the others also widened their eyes in astonishment.